Chapter 452. Hearing Wang Haozhi say that the southern wasteland city wasn't peaceful, Lu Yiping said, "Patriarch Wang doesn't need to worry about my safety. Patriarch Wang should worry about your own safety. Just as you said, southern desolate city is not peaceful. If Patriarch Wang leaves southern desolate city and dies in the universe's boundary, Wang family will be in chaos." A Saint King expert beside Wang Haozhi angrily pointed at Lu Yiping. "Surnamed Lu, what did you say?" This time Wang Haozhi brought 3 Saint King realm experts with him. The Saint King expert who pointed at Lu Yiping just now had cultivated to 400 million units of Saint King realm energy. 400 million units of Saint King realm energy, to the current Lu Yiping 400 million units of Saint King realm energy was nothing more than a finger. Wang Haozhi raised his hand, stopping the experts around him. Staring at Lu Yiping, he smiled and said, "Many thanks for the reminder, I will remember it." Then he left with the Wang family experts. Lu Yiping watched Wang Haozhi's departing figure with an indifferent smile on his face. Then he headed to the north gate of southern desolate city. After the Wang family experts left, Wang Haozhi's face was gloomy. "Patriarch, this surnamed Lu is simply courting death." That Saint King angrily said, "Do you want me to teach him a lesson right now? Let him remember this lesson." Although southern desolate city was guarded by hundreds of millions of human soldiers, and killing was prohibited in the city, the army generally did not care about ordinary fights. As long as no one died, it was fine. Moreover, with Wang family's strength, the army would generally give them face. "No need." Wang Haozhi waved his hand, his eyes indifferent. "Have people pay attention to this Lu Yiping. Once he leaves southern desolate city, report to me immediately." Soon, a Wang family expert reported to Wang Haozhi that Lu Yiping was heading to the north gate of southern desolate city. It seemed like he wanted to leave southern desolate city. Wang Haozhi was stunned, then laughed. "Surnamed Lu, since you're in such a hurry to die, I can only fulfill your wish." Then he led a group of experts and rushed to the north gate of southern desolate city. When Wang Haozhi's group arrived at southern desolate city's north gate, a Wang family expert reported that Lu Yiping had just left the city and entered the universe's boundary. Hearing that Lu Yiping had left the city, Wang Haozhi led the Wang family's experts out of the city and chased after Lu Yiping. The southern wasteland city was a scene of prosperity, but outside of the southern wasteland city, it was a scene of desolation, death, and gloominess. Moreover, the cold current was strong and there was no vitality at all. On the ground, black desolate city. "Are you sure Lu Yiping is heading in the direction of empty Black Sea?" Wang Haozhi asked as he chased. Wang family expert Wang. He left Lu and not hiding, "That's right, he leave him leave, he's leave, he leave still leave, he's leave, he leaving not to leave, he's his plan." "I don't think so, we've checked." Lu Yiping came to southern desolate city alone. Another Wang family Saint King said, "He's in a hurry to leave southern desolate city, could it be because of something important? Or did he learn about the dark yellow heaven earth exquisite pagoda, that's why he's in such a hurry to leave?" Wang Haozhi pondered, "It's better to be careful." After thinking for a while, he took out a saint artifact and sent it into the void. This saint artifact was a space saint artifact. As long as he felt something was wrong, he could use this saint artifact to escape. This place was near southern desolate city. Once he returned, he would be safe. Wang Haozhi and the others continued to chase after Lu Yiping. Half an hour later, when they arrived at Black Sea Mountain, Wang Haozhi saw Lu Yiping's figure. After confirming that Lu Yiping was alone, Wang Haozhi took out a handful of thin needles, and with a wave of his hand, he attacked Lu Yiping's back. The thin needles were dark blue in color, obviously contaminated with poison. This poison was an innate poison. Although it couldn't kill a Saint King realm master, it could temporarily numb the other party's body. However, just as the poison needles were about to hit Lu Yiping's figure suddenly flickered, dodging the poison needles. Seeing Lu Yiping dodging the poison needles, Wang Haozhi wasn't disappointed. His purpose was just to make Lu Yiping stop. Lu Yiping dodged the poison needles, then turned around to look at Wang Haozhi. In the time Lu Yiping paused, Wang Haozhi led a group of Wang family masters to Lu Yiping, surrounding Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping's face was calm, looking at Wang Haozhi and smiling. "Wang family patriarch, what a coincidence, we meet again so soon." Wang Haozhi was stunned, looking suspiciously at Lu Yiping's calm face. Then he released his spiritual energy. "No need to check, it's just me," Lu Yiping said, then walked towards Wang Haozhi. Deliberately mystifying, bluffing. Indifferent, Wang Haozhi smiled, the auspicious clouds above his head opened, and punched out with both fists. the power of 600 million Saint King realm masters turned into a monstrous sea that blasted towards Lu Yiping. Looking at the other party's fist force, Lu Yiping only used one hand to push the other party's fist force away. Wang Haojia's powerful attack was pushed far away, causing the ground to crack and mountains to collapse. At this time, Lu Yiping suddenly appeared in front of Wang Haojia and punched. Bang! With a loud bang, Lu Yiping's fist landed on Wang Haojia's chest, and the divine armor on Wang Haojia's body shattered in an instant. Then Lu Yiping's fist force directly penetrated Wang Haojia's chest, and Wang Haojia was sent flying, vomiting blood again and again. The Wang family's experts were dumbfounded. Lu Yiping's figure swayed, and the other 3 Saint Kings of the Wang family were sent flying one after another. Rumbling sounds rang out continuously. The remaining 20 Saint Kings of the Wang family were jolted awake, looking at Lu Yiping with fear. With a flick of his finger, Lu Yiping fixed the 20 Saint Kings of the Wang family in place. Suddenly, with a loud bang, Wang Haojia flew out from the pile of rocks, looking at Lu Yiping with fear. "Your strength, how can you be so strong?" He had 600 million Saint King realm masters energy, and Lu Yiping's punch easily injured him, so he definitely had 800 million, or even 900 million Saint King realm masters energy. At this time the auspicious cloud above Lu Yiping's head appeared. 11 Mu. Seeing the auspicious cloud above Lu Yiping's head, Wang Haojia stuttered, his voice trembling. Lu Yiping's strength was not 800 million, nor 900 million but 1 billion Saint King realm masters energy. How could this be? While Wang Haojia was shocked, he found it hard to believe. The other 3 Saint Kings of the Wang family were also shocked when they saw the 11 Mu of auspicious cloud above Lu Yiping's head. Lu Yiping took a step forward, arriving in front of Wang Haojia. Wang Haojia staggered back in fear. "How can I be so strong?" Lu Yiping laughed. "You'll know soon enough." With a wave of his hand, his palm landed on Wang Haojia's chest, sealing Wang Haojia's strength before throwing him into the cauldron of heaven and earth. The battle just now had alerted others, and Lu Yiping sensed that there were people coming over. Without further ado, he sealed the other 3 Saint Kings of the Wang family and the group of Saint Kings' energy, threw them into the cauldron of heaven and earth, and sped away. Not long after Lu Yiping left, a large group of experts flew over. It was the Qin family's patriarch, Qin Liang, and the Qin family's experts. Chapter 453. When Qin Liang and the rest arrived and saw the destroyed mountains and land, they were all shocked. As Lu Yiping left in a hurry, he did not clean up the scene, so the space was filled with the terrifying power of a Saint King. What a terrifying power of a Saint King! This is definitely the power of a top-level Saint King. Qin Liang exclaimed. Any Saint King with more than 1 billion Saint King power was called a top-level Saint King. And Qin Liang was the same as Lu clan's lone ancestor, still at 1 billion Saint King power. Hearing Qin Liang say that it was the power of a top-level Saint King, Qin Lu and the rest were all shocked. A top-level Saint King was definitely a terrifying existence in the chaotic world. Wang Haojia and the rest should be coming in this direction. Clan leader, do you think the Wang clan is fighting with a top-level Saint King? A Qin clan Saint King guessed nervously. When the Qin clan heard this, they were all shocked. The Wang clan was fighting with a top-level Saint King? If that was the case, then the Wang clan's outcome could be imagined. Qin Liang also had a feeling of fear. Although he was at the peak of 1 billion Saint King power now, it was not enough to face a top-level Saint King. Who is it? Qin Lu recalled the top-level Saint King in the chaotic world. Clan leader, shall we continue forward? A Qin clan Saint King asked. Qin Liang's expression was gloomy as he said, continue forward, everyone be careful. They knew that the dark yellow pagoda had just appeared in a forest ahead. If they missed it, they would not be satisfied. In his opinion, as long as they were careful, they should be fine. Thus, Qin Liang and the rest continued to fly towards the forest ahead. After Lu Yiping left the Black Sea Mountain, he flew forward and came to a forest. He set up a formation, summoned the Tree of Creation, and threw Wang Haojia and the rest out. Tree of Creation. Wang Haojia and the rest of the Wang clan's experts exclaimed when they saw the tree behind Lu Yiping. Not bad, Tree of Creation. Lu Yiping looked at Wang Haojia and the rest. He waved his hands and the Tree of Creation's thousands of roots flew into the air, turning into sharp blades, piercing Wang Haojia and the rest's chests and started to devour them. Wang Haojia could feel his Saint King's qi flowing out of his body, and his eyes were filled with fear. He attacked, struggled, and roared with the other members of the Wang family. However, no matter how hard Wang Haojia and the others struggled, it was futile. Soon Wang Haojia and the others were emptied. On the tree of achievement, there were 4 yellow Dao fruits and more than 20 white Dao fruits. Lu Yiping plucked the Dao fruits from Wang Haozhe and the others and began to refine them one by one. However, the further one progressed, the harder it was to raise one's Saint Ruler force. As a result, Lu Yiping's Saint Ruler force only managed to break through to 1.4 billion after refining Wang Haozhe's Saint Ruler force. It's only increased by 300 million. Lu Yiping shook his head as he sensed the changes in the Saint King energy in his body. At this time, Lu Yiping had yet to kill Wang Haozhe and the others. When Wang Haozhe heard Lu Yiping shake his head and say that it was only 300 million, Wang Haozhe almost vomited blood in anger. They had painstakingly cultivated their Saint Ruler force for countless years, but Lu Yiping enjoyed the fruits of their labor and actually complained that it was not enough. Subsequently, Lu Yiping extracted the memory fragments of Wang Haozhe and the others. After looking through them, he destroyed Wang Haozhe and the others with a single finger. From Wang Haozhe's memory, Lu Yiping accidentally learned about the earth-splitting chisel, which was a pleasant surprise. The earth-splitting chisel was a supreme offensive treasure comparable to the heaven-splitting divine axe. Although the dark yellow pagoda and the bell of chaos were known for their invincible defense, they absolutely could not withstand a single blow from the earth-splitting chisel or the heaven-splitting divine axe. Otherwise, the tree of achievement would not have been killed by the earth-splitting chisel or the heaven-splitting divine axe. The abyssal sea. Lu Yiping muttered to himself. The earth-splitting chisel sank to the bottom of the abyssal sea. The abyssal sea was a terrifying place at the edge of the universe. The water of the abyssal sea was extremely special. No matter what fell into it, it would sink to the bottom of the sea and would not float up. Even Saint Ruler Realm Masters could not float up. If they could not float up, they would stay at the bottom of the abyssal sea forever until the world collapsed. Therefore, this was also the reason why Wang Haozhe did not dare to retrieve the earth-splitting chisel when he learned that it was in the abyssal sea. Lu Yiping stood up. Although he now had the Tree of Achievement and the Bell of Chaos, if he entered the abyssal sea, it would be difficult for him to come out. Therefore, he could only wait until he broke through to the Dao Ancestor realm. In any case, knowing that the earth-splitting chisel was in the abyssal sea was good news for him. In the future, when he broke through to the Dao Ancestor realm, he would enter the abyssal sea and obtain the earth-splitting chisel. At that time, even the King of Chaos Long Cheng would not be his opponent. Lu Yiping removed the surrounding array and was about to leave the forest. Suddenly, in the distant horizon, a shocking yellow light broke through the void. By the time Lu Yiping reacted, he saw a 10,000 zhang tall pagoda rushing towards him. The dark yellow pagoda of heaven and earth. Lu Yiping was pleasantly surprised. Just as Lu Yiping was about to make a move to grab the pagoda, a terrifying wave of blade energy slashed towards him from the distant horizon, carrying the might of a holy king. Brat, the heaven-earth splitting chisel exquisite pagoda is not something you can touch. Scram. A stern voice shouted. Looking at the terrifying wave of saber energy rushing towards him, Lu Yiping's face was calm. He punched out a fist and dispersed the wave of saber energy. His other hand reached out and grabbed the heaven-earth splitting chisel exquisite pagoda. The heaven-earth splitting chisel exquisite pagoda burst out rays of light, trying to break free from Huang Xiaolong's suction force, but it was unable to do so. Seeing that Lu Yiping had actually dispersed his wave of saber energy, a cry of surprise came from the distant horizon. A middle-aged man in a green robe broke through the void and arrived in front of Lu Yiping in the blink of an eye. Just as the middle-aged man arrived, a large group of experts flew over from the distance. It was the Qin family's patriarch, Qin Liang and Qin Lu. When Qin Liang saw the middle-aged man in green robes, his expression changed. Green-robed divine ancestor. The green-robed divine ancestor was an evil ancestor that struck fear in the hearts of experts from all over the chaos world. He had already proven his Tao a billion years ago and was already a Saint King during the Desolate Era. Now he was already a top-level Saint King and had already possessed 1 billion Saint King realm strength a few million years ago. When the Qin family's members heard that the middle-aged man in front of them was the green-robed divine ancestor, their expressions changed drastically. The green-robed divine ancestor turned his head and looked at the Qin family's group. His gaze landed on Qin Lu and he smiled evilly. "You are the Qin family's little girl, Qin Lu? You are indeed good-looking." When Qin Liang and the others heard that, their hearts skipped a beat. The green-robed divine ancestor's gaze landed on Lu Yiping. He looked at Lu Yiping from head to toe and said, "Brat, your strength is not bad. You were able to withstand my casual attack." Although the green-robed divine ancestor did not even use 10% of his strength in that attack, Being able to withstand it was already considered pretty good in the chaos world. That attack was not something an ordinary high-level Saint King could withstand. When Qin Liang, Qin Lu and the others heard that, they also looked at Lu Yiping with surprise and shock. Previously, during the Lu family's sacred assembly, they had all seen Lu Yiping's strength. It was impossible for him to be this strong. Was this really the same person? Chapter 454. One couldn't blame Qin Liang, Qin Lu, and the others for suspecting that they were not the same person. After all, the difference in strength between the two of them was too great. Only a few months had passed since the Lu family's holy assembly. Lu Yiping looked at the green-robed holy ancestor calmly. Green-robed holy ancestor, right? The number of human experts who died in your hands isn't small. The green-robed holy ancestor was one of the leading figures of the chaos world's evil path. He had an eccentric temperament, and whenever there was a disagreement he would annihilate an entire clan. The number of people who died in his hands was uncountable. When the green-robed holy ancestor heard Lu Yiping talking about the number of human experts who died in his hands, he chuckled. Staring at Lu Yiping he asked, "Brat, what do you want to say?" "Kill you," Lu Yiping replied. The green-robed holy ancestor was stunned for a second. Then he laughed loudly without restraint. His laughter shook the forest, and the trees in the surroundings were shattered into pieces. When Qin Liang and the others heard Lu Yiping saying that he wanted to kill the green-robed holy ancestor, a strange expression appeared on their faces. "Kill me?" The green-robed holy ancestor couldn't stop laughing. Right at this time, a figure whistled through the air. The other party's devil chi soared to the sky, and when he arrived, the surrounding trees turned black. When the green-robed holy ancestor saw the newcomer, he stopped laughing and his eyes narrowed. "Yin Feng." Qin Liang's expression changed drastically when he saw who it was. Yin Feng, one of Rahu Demon Ancestor's generals, a peak Holy King realm expert. Similarly, he possessed 1,100,000,000 battle chi. However, Yin Feng had broken through to 1,100,000,000 battle chi earlier than the green-robed holy ancestor. Yin Feng glanced at the green-robed holy ancestor and smiled. "So, it's holy brother." Although he had broken through earlier than the green-robed holy ancestor, the latter was born much earlier than him. Yin Feng's face was extremely pale, so pale that it was a little frightening. When he smiled, it sent chills down one's spine. The green-robed holy ancestor smiled. "So, it's Brother Yin Feng. Why, Brother Yin Feng is also here for the mysterious yellow pagoda?" "Yes and no," Yin Feng said, his gaze landing on Lu Yiping. "You're Lu Yiping from the Lu family? Your Lu family's Lu Pylon is our demon race's dog. You've got guts, daring to kill our demon race's dog, and even daring to steal our demon race's supreme treasure, the Soul Crusher Thorn." The green-robed saint ancestor had just come into being. So, he hadn't heard of Lu Yiping's recent matters. But, he couldn't help being surprised when he heard that Lu Yiping had seized the demon race's soul-scattering thorn. "Hand over the Soul Crusher Thorn." Yin Feng said to Lu Yiping slowly, "When we go back, I can ask Lord Devil Ancestor to leave your corpse intact." "Leave my corpse intact?" Lu Yiping smiled. Seeing Lu Yiping laughing, Yin Feng frowned. Lu Yiping muttered to himself, "After dealing with you two, I should be able to reach the peak of the Holy King realm." The Holy King realm was the same as the Sage realm. The peak of the Holy King realm was 19 mu. The green-robed saint ancestor and Yin Feng were both at 1 billion. If he could refine their Tao fruits, he should be able to break through to 19 mu. Yin Feng and the green-robed saint ancestor were puzzled when they heard Lu Yiping muttering to himself about reaching the peak of the Holy King realm after dealing with them. At this moment, Lu Yiping made his move. Lu Yiping's figure flashed, arriving before the green-robed saint ancestor and kicking out. Lu Yiping was too fast. The green-robed saint ancestor didn't even have time to dodge before he was kicked. Lu Yiping's kick was full of strength. Boom. The green-robed saint ancestor was sent flying by Lu Yiping's kick. After smashing through countless trees, the green-robed saint ancestor fell to the end of the forest. Lu Yiping arrived before the green-robed saint ancestor at some point in time and stomped his foot down. Boom. The green-robed saint ancestor's head was stomped into the ground by Lu Yiping. Everyone from the Qin family was dumbfounded by this scene. Even Yin Feng was shocked. Before coming here, he had investigated everything about Lu Yiping. It was impossible for Lu Yiping's strength to be so strong. Lu Yiping flicked his finger, and a rune of the Great Tao sealed the mysterious yellow pagoda. The green-robed saint ancestor roared in anger after being stomped into the ground by Lu Yiping. Light surged from his body and 1 billion units of Holy King energy poured out. He struggled to get up, but no matter how hard he struggled, Lu Yiping's foot remained firmly on him. Lu Yiping stepped on the green-robed Saint Ancestor's head as if he was stepping on a rock. He looked at Yin Feng and exerted force with his right foot. The green-robed Saint Ancestor's head sank into the ground bit by bit. The green-robed Saint Ancestor roared in anger, but it soon turned into a scream of pain. Qin Liang and the others felt their scalps go numb. Suddenly Lu Yiping stopped and bent down. He grabbed the green-robed Saint Ancestor's neck and lifted him up like a tortoise. The green-robed Saint Ancestor's eyes turned red as he punched out at Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping grabbed the green-robed Saint Ancestor's hand and twisted it, turning it into a fried dough twist. Qin Liang and Qin Lu paled. During the Lu family's holy assembly, Lu Yiping had also twisted Lu Yiping's hand like this. After twisting the green-robed Saint Ancestor's hand into a fried dough twist, Lu Yiping was too lazy to continue playing with him. He directly punched the green-robed Saint Ancestor's heart, then punched again and again. After several punches, the green-robed Saint Ancestor was reduced to a bloody mess, barely breathing. Only then did Lu Yiping seal the green-robed Saint Ancestor's strength and toss him into the heaven and earth cauldron. Right at this time Yin Feng turned into a cloud of black mist that drifted into the air. In the blink of an eye he disappeared without a trace. Indifferent smile appeared on Lu Yiping's face when he saw this. With a wave of his hand, the spacetime Grand Tao turned into billions of heavenly dragons that entered layers of spacetime. In an instant, layers of spacetime were sealed. Yin Feng fell from the void. When Yin Feng fell to the ground, Lu Yiping made a grabbing motion in the air, causing a shapeless and enormous hand to grab Yin Feng, and then he tossed Yin Feng to the ground. Dust and sand flew into the air amidst the loud explosion. Lu Yiping looked coldly at Yin Feng, who was smashed into the ground. "To me you're just a dog." Yin Feng looked at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. Wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, he sneered, "Your Lu family can wait to be annihilated." "Annihilated?" Lu Yiping laughed. "Wait until your devil race unifies the chaos world." With a swing of Mao Buzhou, Yin Feng was sent flying. With Lu Yiping's current strength, even an ordinary 1 Saint King would find it hard to block his attack, not to mention a 1 Saint King like Yin Feng. A moment later, Lu Yiping threw the dying Yin Feng into the heaven and earth cauldron. Patriarch Qin. Lu Yiping looked at Qin Liang in the distance and said, "What happened today? I hope you won't leak it." Qin Liang's body stiffened. He stuttered, "Lord Lu, don't worry. No one in the Qin family will leak a single word of what happened today." Lu Yiping flew away, disappearing into the horizon in the blink of an eye. For a long time, no one in Qin Liang's group dared to move. "Patriarch, Lord Lu has left," Qin Lu said with difficulty. "That person, is he really Lu Yiping?" A Saint King of the Qin family stammered. Qin Liang was just about to speak when group after group of experts swarmed over from all directions. Chapter 455. Almost all of the people who came were experts from various super forces in the chaotic world. When they arrived and saw the scene that was destroyed beyond recognition, they were all shocked. "Patriarch Qin, did you see the mysterious yellow pagoda?" One of them suddenly asked, looking at Qin Liang with an embarrassed expression. The person who spoke was the Zhu family's patriarch Zhu Kuan. The Zhu family was the head of the 4 families. Like the green-robed holy ancestor and Yin Feng, the Zhu family had made their name in the desolate era. However, they were stronger than the green-robed holy ancestor and Yin Feng. Qin Liang forced a smile, saying, "We also just arrived." Zhu Kuan was still staring at Qin Liang, asking in a doubtful tone, "Patriarch Qin should have arrived earlier than us, right?" Qin Liang smiled, "We did arrive a few steps earlier than you, but the mysterious yellow pagoda was already missing when we arrived." Zhu Kuan frowned, but since Qin Liang insisted that he didn't see the mysterious yellow pagoda, he didn't press further. After all, the Qin family wasn't something he could bully as he wished. More and more people rushed over, but no matter how they turned the forest upside down, they couldn't find anything. In the end, everyone dispersed. After leaving the forest, Lu Yiping came to a barren mountain. He set up a formation and summoned the creation tree, then threw the green-robed holy ancestor and Yin Feng out. Creation tree. The green-robed holy ancestor and Yin Feng had the same reaction as Kong Qing and the others when they saw the creation tree. "Not bad, creation tree." Lu Yiping looked at the two of them. "After refining your Dao fruits, I should be able to break through to peak Holy King realm." The green-robed holy ancestor and Yin Feng's faces were ashen. They finally understood why Lu Yiping said he would be able to break through to peak Holy King realm after dealing with them. Lu Yiping didn't waste any more words with them. He controlled the creation tree and began to devour them. In an instant, their Holy King Realm energy, Grand Tao energy, and Saint Physique Origin energy flowed into the creation tree. Before long, 2 yellow Tao fruits sprouted from the creation tree's branches. These 2 yellow Tao fruits emitted a light brighter than Kong Qing's and the others. Lu Yiping first took Yin Feng's Tao fruit and started to refine it. His current Saint Ruler energy was already at 1.4 billion units, and after consuming the Yin Feng fruit of Tao, it quickly broke through to 1.5 billion units, and then continued to rise at an astonishing speed. While Lu Yiping was refining Yin Feng and the green-robed Holy Ancestors' Tao fruits, news suddenly spread out from southern Wasteland City. The mysterious yellow pagoda was obtained by Lu Yiping of the Lu family. What, Lu Yiping? When the news spread, countless experts who came for the mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda were shocked. Inside a certain mansion in southern Wasteland City, Long Cheng's eldest disciple Chen Lingqiao, second disciple Lu Jiang, and third disciple Du Li came out to hear the news. Lu Yiping from the Lu family? Du Li was puzzled. Could this news be fake? At this time, Lu Jiang's communication talisman vibrated. He opened it and his eyes widened in shock. Noticing Lu Jiang's expression, Chen Lingqiao asked, "What is it?" Lu Jiang said, "Didn't eldest senior brother ask me to investigate who fourth junior brother's group had a conflict with recently? I found out that some days ago, Qin Delin and Chao Ning had a conflict with Lu Yiping at the Eternal Chamber of Commerce's headquarters. At that time, Lu Yiping broke Qin Delin's hand, saying that if there was a next time he would die. Moreover, I also found out that not long after Lu Yiping left the Lu family, fourth junior brother's group of 8 also left the cultivation dwelling." Du Li was surprised. This should be a coincidence, right? With fourth junior brother's strength, Lu Yiping can't possibly be fourth junior brother's opponent. A light flickered in Chen Lingqiao's eyes as he said, "With so many coincidences added together, it's no longer a coincidence. Fourth junior brother's group of 8 missing people might really be related to this Lu Yiping. Although Lu Yiping can't possibly be fourth junior brother's opponent, what if Lu Yiping joins forces with others?" Lu Jiang said, "However, we don't know where Lu Yiping is right now." But Chen Lingqiao said, "A monk can run away but the temple can't. Let's go to the Lu family now." Lu Jiang's eyes lit up, understanding Chen Lingqiao's meaning. Immediately, Chen Lingqiao, Lu Jiang, Du Li and the rest left the southern Desolation City, heading towards the Lu family's headquarters. While Chen Lingqiao, Lu Jiang, Du Li and the rest were heading towards the Lu family's headquarters, experts from all over the southern Desolation City who heard the news also left the southern Desolation City, rushing to the Lu family's headquarters. It couldn't be helped, the allure of the mysterious yellow heaven-earth pagoda was too great. Even the Chaos World's first-rate forces rushed to the Lu family's headquarters after hearing the news. In a short time, the Lu family's headquarters became everyone's target. At this time, inside the Lu family's headquarters, Lu Gang, Lu Yongji, Lu Feng, Ancestor Snow, and the rest were gathered outside the main hall, waiting respectfully for Solitary Ancestor's return. "Lord Patriarch, something bad has happened." While Lu Gang and the rest were waiting for Solitary Ancestor's return, a Lu family Grand Elder rushed into the main hall in a panic, shouting anxiously, "All the southern Desolation City's experts are rushing to our Lu family's headquarters." Lu Gang was confused, reprimanding, "What southern Desolation City's experts? What's the matter?" The Lu family Grand Elder hurriedly explained, "It's Lord Lu Yiping who obtained the mysterious yellow heaven-earth pagoda." Lu Gang, Lu Yongji and the rest were stunned. "Mysterious yellow heaven-earth pagoda?" The Lu family Grand Elder quickly added, "The news has spread, almost all the Chaos World's experts are rushing to our Lu family's headquarters." Lu Gang, Lu Yongji and the rest paled, finally understanding the Lu family Grand Elder's meaning. Lu Yongji roared at the sky in exasperation, "Lu Yiping wants to destroy my Lu family." Such matters were not uncommon in the Chaos World. If not handled properly, the entire family would be annihilated. Even though the Lu family's strength wasn't weak, it couldn't go against the entire Chaos World. Moreover, among the 4 families the Lu family was the weakest. "Which forces are coming?" Lu Gang asked in a trembling voice, unable to calm down. The Grand Elder answered, "The King of Chaos's 3 personal disciples are all here. And the Wang family's patriarch and 5 Saint Kings. And the evil dragon tribe. The devil-slaying palace." With every sentence the Grand Elder uttered, Lu Gang, Lu Yongji and the rest paled further. In the end, Lu Gang, Lu Yongji and the rest trembled. Where's Lu Yiping? Lu Yongji roared angrily. Lord Lu's whereabouts are unknown after he obtained the mysterious Yellow Heaven-Earth Pagoda. The Grand Elder's voice grew weaker. Lu Yongji's eyes were bloodshot, screaming hoarsely. Lu Yiping caused this disaster, but he went into hiding. When Qinling Chao and the others come, we'll hand his sister over. This matter has nothing to do with Yiping, right? Ancestor Snow asked solemnly. At this time a figure whistled through the air. When they saw who it was, their faces lit up with joy. Solitary Ancestor. The gray-haired Solitary Ancestor's gaze swept over everyone, and he said solemnly, I already know about Lu Yiping's matter. He continued, this matter was caused by him. When the experts from various forces arrive, I will announce to them that he and his sister are expelled from the Lu family. Chapter 456. Ancestor Snow's expression changed. What? Expel Yiping from the Lu family? I don't agree. Solitary Ancestor looked at Ancestor Snow and said, Little Snow, I know what you mean, but only by expelling Lu Yiping from the Lu family can we save the Lu family. Moreover, Lu Yiping killed the Lu family's holy king during the Lu family's sacred assembly. This alone is enough to expel him from the Lu family. Ancestor Snow said, But? No buts. Solitary Ancestor shook his head and said, I've already made up my mind. He then turned to Lu Gang and said, Pass down the order. Activate the Lu family's strongest formation to welcome the experts from all sides. Yes, Lord Solitary Ancestor. Lu Gang quickly replied and passed down the order. While Qinling Chao, Lu Jiang, Du Li, the Zhu family's patriarch Zhu Kuan, and other experts from the Chaos World were rushing over to the Lu family's residence, Lu Yiping had finally finished refining Yin Feng and the green-robed ancestors' Dao fruits. After refining Yin Feng and the green-robed ancestors' Dao fruits, Lu Yiping's cultivation had reached peak Holy King realm. The 19 Mu auspicious clouds above his head surged, and his Holy King realm energy surged like an ocean. A majestic aura enveloped the heavens. Lu Yiping felt the surging energy in his body and he took a deep breath. Finally he was a peak Holy King realm expert. One more step and he would be a Dao ancestor. Lu Yiping took out the Xian Huang Pagoda and spat out a mouthful of Holy King realm energy, enveloping the Xian Huang Pagoda as he began to refine it. With Lu Yiping's current peak Holy King realm strength, it took him less than half a day to refine the Xian Huang Pagoda. Then Lu Yiping urged the Xian Huang Pagoda to soar into the sky and land on the mountain range in the distance. The pagoda spun and flattened the mountain range in the distance. Although the Xian Huang Pagoda was a defensive treasure, its offensive power was unparalleled. After testing the Xian Huang Pagoda's power, Lu Yiping put it away and soared into the sky, leaving the barren mountain. Ancestor, are we really not going to the Lu family's main manor? Not long after Lu Yiping left the mountain range, Lu Yu heard someone's voices up. Right now, everyone in the primal chaos realm is rushing towards the Lu family's main residence. There is only one mysterious yellow jewel pagoda. Even if we go to the Lu family's main residence, we won't get a share of the mysterious yellow jewel pagoda. Lu uses Xian's ancestor Xian Huang clan Lu and ancestors. He didn't waste his clans. The S. Loses Lu Xian? Dest? Assessed? T's? SS? SSSS? S's? At that time, only the members of the Qin clan knew that he had obtained the mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda. Now that the news was leaked, it was undoubtedly the doing of the Qin clan. It seemed that he had been too merciful. He should have gotten rid of the Qin clan as well. Lu Yiping hurried back to the Lu residence. Although it had been a few days since the experts from the Chaos World had rushed to the Lu family's headquarters from the southern Desolation City, he was now a peak Saint King. He should be able to reach the Lu family's headquarters before everyone else. Even if he couldn't rush back to the Lu residence before everyone else, he should be able to reach the Lu residence around the same time as everyone else. Lu Yiping tore through the void and pushed the great path of time and space to the extreme. Time and space constantly changed around him. Several days passed. Qinling Chao, Lu Jiang, Du Li, and the others were the first to arrive at the Lu residence. Next was the Zhu family's patriarch Zhu Kuan, and a group of Zhu family experts. After the Zhu family, the Evil Dragon clan, the Devil-Slaying Palace, and other experts from the Primal Chaos realm arrived one after another. All the experts gathered in the main hall of the Lu family residence. Qinling Chao looked at Solitary Ancestor. We don't need to beat around the bush. Lu Kongji, I believe you know why we're here. Have Lu Yiping hand over the mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda. Solitary ancestor Lu Kongji stood up and cupped his fists. Lord Qin, a few days ago during our Lu family's sacred assembly, Lu Yiping killed the Lu family's holy king Lu Yuchao. Our Lu family's ancestors unanimously decided to expel Lu Yiping and his sister from the Lu family. Qin Lingqiao, Zhu Kuan, and the others were stunned. Lu Kongji's gaze swept over the experts present and he continued, "From now on, Lu Yiping and his sister are no longer members of our Lu family. Lu Yiping's matter has nothing to do with our Lu family." Indifferent to Lu Kongji's words, Lu Jiang sneered, "You think that by expelling Lu Yiping from the Lu family, your Lu family can stay out of this matter?" He paused for a moment before continuing, "Our fourth junior brother has been missing for quite some time. We found out that his disappearance is related to Lu Yiping." Lu Jiang's words caused an uproar in the hall. "What? Lord Kongqing is missing?" Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon tribe patriarch, devil-slaying palace master, Lu Kongji, Lu Yongji, and the others were shocked. Lu Jiang went on, "With my fourth junior brother's strength, Lu Yiping is definitely not his opponent. Therefore we suspect that your Lu family's ancestors are his accomplices." Lu Kongji, Lu Gang, Lu Yongji, Lu Feng, and the others' faces tightened. "Lord Lu Jiang, we are completely unaware of Lord Kongqing's matter." Lu Kongji hurriedly defended himself, "We just found out." Indifferent to Lu Kongji's words, Lu Jiang sneered, "Whether you are completely unaware or not, we will release all of you after our investigation. Later, your Lu family's ancestors will have to make a trip with us." Lu Kongji, Lu Gang, and the others panicked at Lu Jiang's words. Qin Lingqiao ordered, "Bring little sister Lu Yiping with us." He then turned to a Saint King beside him, "Go bring little sister Lu Yiping over." That Saint King complied and left. But even after a long time that Saint King still did not return. Qin Lingqiao, Lu Jiang, and the others felt strange. Right at this time, a figure suddenly fell from the sky, crashing into the great hall with a loud crash. Everyone looked over and saw that it was the Saint King who had left on Qin Lingqiao's order. The Saint King's strength had been completely sealed. He lay there on the ground, barely breathing like a dying dog. Everyone was stunned. This Saint King's strength was not weak. He was a mid-level Saint King with 600 million battle Saint King energy. Only a high-level Saint King could subdue him. Could it be that other than Lu Kongji the Lu family had other high-level Saint King experts? Amidst everyone's astonishment, a blue-robed figure slowly walked over. "Lu Yiping!" Lu Yongji exclaimed in shock. A commotion broke out in the great hall. Experts from various forces stood up one after another, staring at Lu Yiping with burning desire. However, no one dared to make the first move. Qin Lingqiao was the first to walk out from the great hall. He looked coldly at Lu Yiping. "You're Lu Yiping? Where's my fourth junior brother?" "He's dead," Lu Yiping said calmly. "Dead?" Everyone was shocked. Even Qin Lingqiao, Lu Jiang, and Du Li were in disbelief. Did they hear wrongly? "What did you say?" Lu Jiang's face was filled with anger. "My fourth junior brother is dead? That's right, I killed him." Lu Yiping continued to walk over. "You killed him?" Lu Jiang laughed loudly as if he had heard a joke. Chapter 457. Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon tribe patriarch, the devil-slaying palace master, and the others shook their heads and smiled. Clearly no one believed Lu Yiping's words. Lu Jiang's eyes flashed with lightning, and he suddenly slammed his palm down on Lu Yiping. "Speak! Who is your accomplice? Is it Lu Kongji? Or did you collude with the demon race?" No wonder Lu Jiang thought that Lu Yiping might have colluded with the demon race, because Lu Pailan had already colluded with the demon race. Although Lu Yiping had killed Lu Pailan, it was not impossible for him to side with the demon race. Lu Jiang was the king of chaos Long Cheng's second disciple, and his strength was much stronger than Kongqing's. Not only was he a top-level holy king, but his holy king energy had reached 1.3 billion units. 1.3 billion units, what kind of concept was that? For a high-level holy king like Lu Kongji with 1 billion units, he could kill him with a single palm strike. Even the green-robed holy ancestor and Yin Feng with 1 billion units couldn't withstand a single palm strike from Lu Jiang. Seeing that Lu Jiang had made a move, all the experts retreated in shock, afraid that they would be affected by Lu Jiang's palm strike. Even people as strong as the evil dragon tribe patriarch and the devil-slaying palace master protected their subordinates as they retreated. Ancestor Shui's expression changed when he saw Lu Yiping suddenly attacking. Seeing that Lu Yiping's palm strike was about to slam Lu Yiping into the ground, Lu Yiping did not even look at the other party's palm strike. He flicked his finger and a barely visible finger light attacked Lu Jiang. Indifferent smile appeared on Lu Jiang's face when he saw that Lu Yiping did not block his palm strike and even flicked his finger at him. Reckless idiot. He flicked his finger at Lu Yiping's finger force. Dong. Lu Jiang's finger force collided with Lu Yiping's finger force. Heaven and earth trembled. But in the next moment, everyone arrived. Lu Yiping's finger force blasted Lu Jiang's finger force away and landed on Lu Jiang's chest. Lu Jiang let out a muffled groan as he flew up into the air. At this time, when Lu Jiang's palm force was about to land on Lu Yiping's head, a golden bell flew out from Lu Yiping's head and blocked Lu Jiang's palm force. Lu Jiang's palm force landed on the golden bell. The golden bell glowed and remained motionless. Rumble. Lu Yiping smashed through the main hall of the Lu family residence. When he landed on the ground, his chest had already been pierced through by Lu Yiping's finger force. A shocking pillar of blood continuously spurted out from his chest. What? Everyone was stunned. This included Chen Lingqiao, Lu Kongji, Zhu Kuan, and the others. Chen Lingqiao and the others stared in disbelief at Lu Jiang, who was sent flying by a single finger. Lu Jiang wanted to get up from the ground, but just as he moved, he pulled at the wound on his chest. He spat out another mouthful of blood. He looked at Lu Yiping in disbelief, shocked and angry. Lu Yiping can't be this strong. Who the hell are you? He suspected that the person in front of him was proficient in the transformation Grand Dao and had taken on Lu Yiping's appearance. Not Lu Yiping? Everyone looked at Lu Yiping in bewilderment. Chen Lingqiao glared at Lu Yiping and growled, "I don't care who you are. Today you must die." The auspicious cloud above his head rose as his holy king aura roared. Chen Lingqiao's auspicious cloud had reached the limit of 18 mu, just half a step away from 19 mu. Because of this, even though the king of chaos Long Cheng had been in seclusion for many years, with Chen Lingqiao presiding over the chaos world did not fall into chaos. A terrifying pressure spread out from Chen Lingqiao's body. Even Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon tribe's patriarch and the devil-slaying palace master, who were 130 million experts, felt suffocated under Chen Lingqiao's pressure. Everyone retreated again and again in fear. Chen Lingqiao took a step forward, arriving in front of Lu Yiping and suddenly punched out. Chaos Bell? Chen Lingqiao smiled indifferent. Watch me break your Chaos Bell with one punch. Seeing Chen Lingqiao's punch coming, Lu Yiping did not panic. He raised his hand and punched out as well. When Lu Yiping punched out, an auspicious cloud appeared above his head, and Holy King aura surged like an apocalyptic sea, shaking heaven and earth. Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud was no longer pure yellow, but a purple-gold yellow. Chen Lingqiao's auspicious cloud was completely overshadowed in front of Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud. It was like the difference between a chicken and a phoenix. Under the light of Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud, heaven and earth became so bright. Chen Lingqiao looked at the auspicious cloud above Lu Yiping's head, and his eyes widened. Then he turned pale. Boom. The two's fists collided. A loud explosion shook the heavens and earth flickered for a moment. The entire Lu family's territory seemed to have been smashed by an invisible giant hammer. Pieces of land crumbled and buildings were sent flying into the air, turning into dust. A terrifying force swept out, and some of the nearby experts were turned into dust in an instant. Even experts as strong as Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon tribe's patriarch, and the devil-slaying palace master were sent flying, vomiting blood. Lu Kongji shouted in fear, "Activate the Lu family's strongest defensive formation." But just as he finished speaking, he was sent flying. The Lu family's grand formation shone brightly, and layers of energy enveloped the Lu family's main residence. But it was useless. In front of Lu Yiping's power, the Lu family's grand formation was like a short-circuited circuit. Sizzling sounds rang out continuously, and one formation after another was destroyed. As for Chen Lingqiao, he felt a powerful force that he could not resist at all, and he was sent flying. Dust billowed and it did not stop for a long time. Lu Yiping's power was still sweeping out. Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon tribe, and the devil-slaying palace's experts were forced to retreat again and again, vomiting blood again and again. Some Dao-proving sages felt their bodies cracking, and terrifying cracks appeared all over them. They could collapse at any time. When Lu Yiping's power finally dissipated, Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon tribe, and the devil-slaying palace's experts, who had been sent flying into the sky, looked at Lu Yiping with fear and shock. They looked at the 19 acres of auspicious clouds above Lu Yiping's head, and were so shocked that they could not speak for a long time. In the chaotic world, although there were very few top-level holy kings, some top forces still had them. For example, the Zhu family, the evil dragon tribe, and the devil-slaying palace all had top-level holy kings. But in the vast chaotic world there were only two peak holy kings. And these two had been in seclusion for countless years, and they had been trying to break through to the Tao ancestor realm. The third peak holy king. Zhu Kuan's eyes widened in shock. Lu Jiang, who was sent flying again, looked at Lu Yiping with the same shock in his eyes. As for Lu Kongji, Lu Gang and the others, they were even more shocked beyond words. Lu Yiping looked at Lu Kongji, Lu Gang and the others coldly. He already knew that Lu Kongji had expelled him and his sister from the Lu family, so he did not have any scruples when he attacked just now. He allowed his power to sweep through the Lu family's main manor. Lu Yiping took a step forward and arrived in front of Chen Lingqiao. Chen Lingqiao was terrified. He did not even bother to wipe the blood from the corner of his mouth as he said, "Wait. Who are you? Why did you kill my fourth junior brother?" Lu Yiping punched out. Chen Lingqiao raised his hand to block in panic, but he was sent flying again by Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping said coldly as he walked toward Chen Lingqiao. Is he really Lu Yiping? One of the Zhu family's holy kings stammered. Lu Kongji, Lu Gang and the others paled. Chapter 458. Why did you kill your fourth junior brother? Lu Yiping looked at Chen Lingqiao, his eyes cold. He coveted my grand mist aura and wanted to kill me by setting up a formation in the Azure Dragon Sea. Unfortunately, he was the one who died. Just like how you're coveting my mysterious yellow pagoda. Unfortunately, you're still the one who died. Lu Yiping's words reverberated in the air above the Lu family's main residence. With his current strength, there was nothing to be afraid of. Chen Lingqiao sensed Lu Yiping's killing intent, and his face tightened. Lu Yiping, you dare? I don't dare? Lu Yiping smiled indifferent, punching out with both fists. This time 1.9 billion Holy King energy and 2,900 Grand Dao flew out. Chen Lingqiao sensed the power behind Lu Yiping's attack, and his eyes widened in fear. He fled in a fluster and at the same time, activated the holy armor on his body. This holy armor was something he had collected from the Chaos World's precious materials after he had advanced to true saint, spending several million years to refine it in lightning fire. After refining it, he had tempered it with his mind every day. It was extremely powerful, and although its defense was not as good as the Chaos Bell and mysterious yellow pagoda, it was not far off. Run. Report to Master. Chen Lingqiao roared at Lu Jiang and Du Li. At the same time he turned to Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon patriarch, the devil-slaying palace master, and the other experts. Why aren't you making a move? If something happens to me, my master won't let any of you off. Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon patriarch, the devil-slaying palace master, and the other experts' faces tightened. Just as Chen Lingqiao had said, if something happened to Chen Lingqiao, the king of chaos Long Cheng would definitely settle the score with everyone present. Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon patriarch, and the devil-slaying palace master could not care less about anything else. They could only muster up their courage and attack Lu Yiping. At the same time, Zhu Kuan roared at the Zhu family, attack. The evil dragon patriarch and devil-slaying palace master also issued the order, ordering all experts from the evil dragon tribe and devil-slaying palace to attack. For a moment, the power of the holy ruler roared, and the holy saint power turned into a vast ocean, rushing towards Lu Yiping from all directions. Lu Yiping didn't stop attacking as he continued to bombard Chen Lingqiao. The bell of chaos above his head shone brightly, transforming into a bell that held up the sky. The sun, moon, mountains and rivers rose and fell as though worlds were being nurtured within it. The powers of the worlds connected together, forming barriers. As Lu Yiping's strength continued to increase, the power of the bell of chaos became stronger and stronger. As the chaos bell transformed into a gigantic bell, a pagoda flew out from Lu Yiping's head. The pagoda emitted layers of light as it instantly expanded to 100,000 feet in size. There were 9 floors in the pagoda, and each floor emitted a different kind of light. The 9-colored light illuminated the world. Under the 9-colored light of the pagoda, the land around the Lu family's main residence seemed to be covered in a layer of 9-colored light. Mysterious yellow pagoda. Someone in the crowd exclaimed. The 9-colored light of the mysterious yellow pagoda formed a 9-colored barrier that revolved around Lu Yiping's body. Boom. Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon patriarch, devil-slaying palace master, and the others' attacks landed on the 9-colored barrier. Even though the mysterious yellow pagoda's defense was shocking, under the combined attacks of Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon patriarch and the devil-slaying palace's experts, it shook violently and instantly weakened and dimmed. Finally, with a pop, the nine-colored barrier was shattered. After Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon patriarch, and the others' attacks landed on the Bell of Chaos defensive barrier after breaking the nine-colored barrier. The heavens shook. The Bell of Chaos defensive barrier was shattered layer by layer. But in the end, they couldn't break through the last few layers of the Bell of Chaos defensive barrier. On the other hand, Lu Yiping's 1.9 billion Sank King Realm energy and 2,900 Grand Dao energy landed on Chen Lingchao's body. Chen Lingchao's saint armor that he had refined for countless years was as fragile as an eggshell in front of Lu Yiping's 1.9 billion Sank King Realm energy and Grand Dao energy. It shattered in an instant, turning into countless fragments that shot out in all directions. After Lu Yiping's attack pierced through Chen Lingchao's saint armor, it landed on Chen Lingchao's fist. After shattering Chen Lingchao's fist, Lu Yiping's attack landed on Chen Lingchao's chest. Chen Lingchao seemed to hear the sound of his internal organs shattering coming from his body. BFFF. Chen Lingchao spat out a mouthful of blood as he was sent flying. When Chen Lingchao was sent flying, Du Li was carrying Lu Jiang in a bid to escape. Seeing this, Lu Yiping casually flicked out a finger, sending Du Li and Lu Jiang flying. Then Lu Yiping's palm pressed down on the void. With a loud explosion, Du Li and Lu Jiang were smashed into the ground. Lu Yiping turned around looking at Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon tribe, and the devil-slaying palace's experts. Zhu Kuan, the evil dragon tribe, and the devil-slaying palace's experts were terrified. Quickly retreat. The evil dragon tribe's patriarch roared. Lu Yiping turned into a streak of light, charging into the crowd. In an instant, blood-curdling screams filled the air. Wherever the streak of light passed, the Zhu family, evil dragon tribe, and devil-slaying palace's experts were sent flying. Blood splattered everywhere. Under the sunlight, the scene was exceptionally dazzling. When the streak of light finally stopped, the Zhu family, evil dragon tribe, and devil-slaying palace's experts were no longer standing. Far away, some of the first-rate forces that had come to join in the fun to see if there were any benefits were shocked to see the Zhu family, evil dragon tribe, and devil-slaying palace's experts being sent flying in all directions. Their limbs trembled in fear. Lu Yiping looked at the several 100,000 experts that had come to join in the fun. The several 100,000 experts retreated in panic. Many of them were knocked flying by the people in front of them. Lu Yiping raised the Bell of Chaos in his hand. The Bell of Chaos flew high into the air, growing bigger and bigger as it fell on Zhu Kuan and the evil dragon tribe's experts. Zhu Kuan and the others felt the sky darken. Boom. Dust rose into the air. Lu Yiping took a step forward, waving the Mount Buzhou in his hand. Chen Lingchao, Lu Jiang, and Du Li's several hundred experts were sent flying. Under the sunlight, Lu Yiping stood high in the air, his long hair fluttering in the wind. His eyes were like a boundless starry sky, making others not dare to look directly at him. Lu Yiping landed on the ground. He lifted his foot and stomped on the ground. Terrifying waves of light spread out in all directions. Chen Lingchao, Lu Jiang, Du Li, and the others who were lying on the ground were sent flying. Lu Yiping clenched his fist, and an invisible hand pulled Chen Lingchao, Lu Jiang, and Du Li to him. Lu Yiping took the three of them and flew away, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. Tell Long Cheng that if he wants to avenge his disciples, come to the Azure Dragon Sea. Lu Yiping's voice came from the horizon. The Azure Dragon Sea was the place where Kong Qing had set up a formation to kill him. Everyone present looked in the direction Lu Yiping had disappeared, but no one dared to speak for a long time. Should we report this to the King of Chaos? A Saint King under Chen Lingchao's command said in a trembling voice. Chen Lingchao, Lu Jiang, and Du Li had been captured by Lu Yiping. Adding Kong Qing's death, all four of the King of Chaos disciples had been annihilated. Everyone could almost imagine how furious the King of Chaos, Long Cheng, would be. Chapter 459. Lu Kongji, Lu Gang, and the other Lu family ancestors stared blankly in the direction Lu Yiping had left. For a long time they didn't move or think, as if they had lost their souls. Lord Lone Ancestor, shall we go and beg for forgiveness? After a long time Ancestor Snow finally spoke. Lu Kongji remained silent. He understood Ancestor Snow's meaning. He wanted to beg Lu Yiping for forgiveness and allow Lu Yiping to return to the Lu family. Lu Yongji sneered at Ancestor Snow's suggestion. Beg him? Yes, he is a Peak Saint King, but he has offended the King of Chaos. Sooner or later he will die. Ancestor Snow glared at Lu Yongji. Lu Kongji said solemnly, Yongji is right. Although Lu Yiping is a Peak Saint King, he is no match for the King of Chaos. Ancestor Snow opened his mouth, but in the end he couldn't refute. Indeed, although a peak Saint King was terrifying, he was no match for a Tao ancestor. Ancestor Snow couldn't help but worry. At the center of the Chaos World stood a giant Chaos City that pierced through the clouds. This Chaos City was as big as dozens of continents. The reason why it was called a City of Chaos was because not only were the walls of the city completely forged from Chaos Stones, but the buildings within the city were also completely forged from Chaos Stones. Moreover, these Chaos Stones were made of the hardest and rarest Chaos Diamond ores. A single piece of Chaos Diamond ores was worth several tens of thousands of Chaos Spirit Stones. One could imagine the value of this Chaos City that was as big as dozens of continents. The Chaos City was where the King of Chaos Long Cheng's cultivation cave was located. At this time, in the deepest space of the Chaos City, Long Cheng was sitting cross-legged at the center of an altar, absorbing the Chaos spiritual energy in the void. As an innate demon god master, Long Cheng possessed an innate demon god physique and innate bloodline. As he absorbed the Chaos spiritual energy, a jade-green light surged around him. It was the light of his bloodline power. After cultivating for a while, Long Cheng stopped and stared at the Fortune Jade Disc in front of him with a deep frown. The Fortune Jade Disc was a universe treasure that contained the universe's 3,000 grand Tao. There was no doubt that it was a treasure, but he hadn't been able to refine it for many years. This infuriated him. Right at this moment, hundreds of figures tore through the air and arrived outside the space where Long Cheng was in seclusion. These people were all Long Cheng's generals. They rarely gathered together, but now they had all come to the place where Long Cheng was cultivating in seclusion. After the several hundred people arrived, a saint ruler in golden armor walked out. He bowed and said, "Lord King of Chaos, we have something urgent to report." His voice passed through the layers of space, reaching the surroundings of the altar where Long Cheng cultivated. "What is it?" Long Cheng asked calmly. "Something happened to Ling Chao, Lu Jiang, Du Li and Kong Qing." That Saint King expert did not dare to hide the truth as he quickly said, "Kong Qing was killed by Lu Yiping from the Lu family. Ling Chao, Lu Jiang and Du Li have been captured by Lu Yiping." "What?" Long Qing jumped up from the altar and appeared outside the space in an instant. "What did you say? Qinger is dead?" Long Qing, who was hundreds of thousands of meters tall, looked at the Saint King powerhouse. He was not angry, but a terrifying Tao ancestor's aura blanketed the sky, forcing the hundreds of Saint Kings in front of him to stumble and retreat. After retreating several li, that Saint King respectfully fell to his knees, cold sweat dripping down his forehead as he said, "What this subordinate said is absolutely true. Because this matter is of great importance, we have all come to report to Lord King of Chaos." Long Cheng's gaze turned colder. "Lu Yiping from the Lu family? I don't remember such a person from the Lu family." That Saint King hurriedly said, "This Lu Yiping is Lu Yiwen's son. He left the Lu family several million years ago and suddenly returned a few months ago. But the strange thing is, when he returned a few months ago, he was only a low-level Saint King. In just a few short months, for some unknown reason, he suddenly advanced to peak Saint King." "Lu Yiwen's son?" Long Cheng was shocked. In just a few short months, he advanced from low-level Saint King to peak Saint King? "Yes, Lord King of Chaos." That Saint King lowered his head and said, "Although it is absurd, many people have seen it with their own eyes. A few months ago, Lu Yiping fought at the Lu family's sacred assembly with less than 100 million units of Saint King energy." Then he recounted what happened at the Lu family's sacred assembly and how Lu Yiping obtained the mysterious yellow pagoda. "Where is this Lu Yiping now?" Long Cheng asked. "In the Azure Dragon Sea." That Saint King respectfully replied. When Lu Yiping left the Lu family, he said that if Lord wants revenge, go to the Azure Dragon Sea to find him. Azure Dragon Sea. Long Cheng looked in the direction of the Azure Dragon Sea and soared into the sky, disappearing into the horizon in the blink of an eye. Long Cheng's subordinates wanted to speak, but Long Cheng had already disappeared without a trace. "Lord, what should we do now?" One of them asked that Saint King, "Should we send an army to the Lu family?" Meaning to destroy the Lu family. That Saint King pondered and said, "Let's wait for Lord King of Chaos to return first. With his speed, he will reach the Azure Dragon Sea very quickly. Lord King of Chaos only needs a few breaths to deal with Lu Yiping. There is no rush to destroy the Lu family. The Lu family will not run away." After Long Cheng left the Primal Chaos City, he did not bring the city with him and went straight to the Azure Dragon Sea. The Primal Chaos City was his abode and also a chaos treasure. After countless years of refinement, its attack power was no weaker than the Bell of Chaos. However, to deal with a peak Saint King, he did not need the help of the primal Chaos City. Bell of Chaos. Mysterious yellow pagoda. Long Qing muttered to himself. It seemed like this Lu Yiping was hiding a shocking secret. He wanted to see what it was that allowed this Lu Yiping to break through from the low-level Saint King to the peak of the Saint King realm in a few months. With the help of Long Qing's Grand Tao, he crossed through layers of space with every breath. Soon the Azure Dragon Sea was in sight. Above the Azure Dragon Sea, Lu Yiping stood in the air, looking at Long Qing who was flying towards him. In the blink of an eye, Long Qing, who was tens of thousands of feet tall, arrived above the Azure Dragon Sea. Lu Yiping. Long Qing looked at Lu Yiping, his voice calm. Long Qing. Lu Yiping looked at Long Qing and said indifferently. Hearing Lu Yiping call him Long Qing's eyes shone brightly. Shocking power turned into heavenly tribulation lightning that shot towards Lu Yiping. However, when the heavenly tribulation lightning reached Lu Yiping, it was blocked by the mysterious yellow pagoda and the Bell of Chaos defensive barrier. Even so, the Azure Dragon Sea was still rumbling, as if it was about to be overturned. Long Qing looked at the mysterious yellow pagoda and the Bell of Chaos and said indifferently, "Brat, you think you can block my attack with the mysterious yellow pagoda and the Bell of Chaos? The power of a Tao ancestor is not something an ant like you can imagine." Speaking of this, the auspicious clouds above his head and the aura of a Tao ancestor soared into the sky. Chaos lightning rumbled in the sky and the world turned dark. A terrifying invisible force enveloped Lu Yiping. Chapter 460. This terrifying power came from all directions. Long Qing stood there as if he was the ruler of the world. Under this terrifying power, the nine-colored barrier of the mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda and the layers of barriers of the chaos realm began to cave in, as if they could not withstand this terrifying power and exploded. At this moment, light surged around Lu Yiping's body, an auspicious cloud appeared above his head. The auspicious cloud and auspicious light fell, and the power of the Holy King surged. The power of the Holy King surged into the mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda and the Bell of Chaos. Immediately, the light of the mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda and the Bell of Chaos increased greatly. The originally collapsed barriers of the mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda and the Bell of Chaos began to expand as if they were injected with vitality. In the end, they slowly recovered to their original state. Long Qing looked at the purple-gold color of Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud and could not help but be surprised. Purple gold? Generally speaking, even a peak Holy King's auspicious cloud would be yellow. It was impossible for it to be purple gold. Only the auspicious cloud of a Tao ancestor was purple gold. When he was a Holy King, the auspicious cloud did not have purple gold color. Long Qing stared at Lu Yiping. Purple gold auspicious cloud, it seems that you really have a big secret. Then he slapped at Lu Yiping. However, you are only a peak Holy King after all. If I want to destroy you, it's just a flip of my hand. As Long Qing's palm came, the auspicious cloud above his head shone with purple gold light, and layers of heavenly Tao power roared towards Lu Yiping. Although Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud was also purple gold, it was not pure. It only emitted purple gold light, while Long Qing's auspicious cloud was completely purple gold. The purple gold color represented supremacy. And the Tao ancestor realm did not comprehend the great Tao but the heavenly Tao. The heavenly Tao began from the great Tao but surpassed the great Tao. Layers of heavenly Tao power instantly arrived in front of Lu Yiping. With a loud bang, the nine-colored barrier that the mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda had just recovered collapsed and exploded. The layers of the Chaos Bell's barriers were also broken layer by layer. Finally, with a loud bang, the last layer of the Bell of Chaos cracked open. Just as Longqing's power of the heavenly Tao tore through the last barrier of the Bell of Chaos, a towering tree suddenly appeared. Longqing's power of the heavenly Tao slammed into the towering tree. The enormous body of the towering tree that was as large as a continent trembled incessantly. The light of the great Tao burst forth, and the leaves swayed like a river of stars. However, the towering tree did not back down. When Long Qing's heavenly Tao power struck it, it only shattered a few pieces of bark. Long Qing stared blankly at the towering tree that was as large as a continent and the surging grand mist aura. Then he exclaimed in pleasant surprise, "Building tree." He looked at Lu Yiping with burning eyes. "So that's how it is. So you've restored the vitality of the founding tree. The founding tree is in your hands. You broke through to the peak of the Saint King realm in just a few months because you swallowed the fruit of Tao." Long Qing smiled and walked towards Lu Yiping. Just as he was walking towards Lu Yiping, his body suddenly shook. The fortune jade disc that he obtained flew out uncontrollably from his body and flew towards Lu Yiping. Long Qing was stunned. He reached out with one hand wanting to take back the fortune jade disc. However, the fortune jade disc shook off his restraints and entered Lu Yiping's body. What was going on? Long Qing was greatly surprised. After obtaining the fortune jade disc, this was the first time he had encountered such a situation. Suddenly, his eyes shone brightly as he stared fixedly at Lu Yiping. You have other fortune jade discs on you? Moreover, Lu Yiping must have refined the fortune jade disc. Therefore, the fortune jade disc in his body was attracted by Lu Yiping's fortune jade disc and flew towards Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping looked at the fortune jade disc flying towards him, but he was not surprised. Now, he had collected 20 fortune jade discs and had comprehended 2,900 great Daos. As long as the other fortune jade discs were within a certain range, they would be summoned. After the fortune jade disc flew into his body, it merged with the other 20 fortune jade discs. The fortune jade disc in his body shone brightly. Lu Yiping looked at Long Qing. Yes, I have other fortune jade discs on me. Hearing this, Long Qing laughed. The heavens have not let me down. I have been searching for other fortune jade discs for many years, but I have not been able to find them. Now I have finally found them. Then he smiled. It seems that you have refined the fortune jade disc. In that case, you know the method to refine the fortune jade disc. Originally, I came here to kill you, but now, I can let you live for a few more days. He had to search Lu Yiping's memories for the method to refine the fortune jade disc. After Long Qing finished speaking, his hand formed a claw and grabbed at Lu Yiping. The heavenly Dao power strengthened again. Lu Yiping punched out. Seeing this, Long Qing said indifferently, it's useless. Even if a peak Saint King has 1.9 billion Saint King power, as long as you don't break through to the Dao Ancestor realm, you will never be a match for a Dao Ancestor. Bang. There was a loud bang. The surface of the Azure Dragon Sea exploded. Long Qing was forced to retreat several hundred meters, while Lu Yiping was sent flying several miles. Long Qing stabilized his body with a look of shock. Originally, he thought that the power of the claw just now was enough to seriously injure Lu Yiping, but just now, it only sent Lu Yiping flying several miles. How can your power be so strong? Long Qing could not believe it. Even if he only had 100 million heavenly Dao power now, it was far from what Lu Yiping could contend with. Lu Yiping did not speak. Instead, he moved forward and punched at Long Qing. You're courting death. Seeing this, Long Qing's eyes were indifferent. He met the attack head-on. 9 rays of light flew out from his body. As the light spun, 9 kinds of power gathered. Boom. The two fists collided. Long Qing retreated several hundred meters, while Lu Yiping was still sent several miles away. 9 revolutions mysterious art. Lu Yiping's face was calm. What Long Qing just used was the 9 revolutions mysterious art passed down from Pangu. Long Qing could not believe it. He had just used the 9 revolutions mysterious art, but still only sent Lu Yiping flying. He stared at Lu Yiping, his face a little ugly. What kind of cultivation technique was that? Just now, the cultivation technique Lu Yiping used was definitely a heaven-splitting cultivation technique, and its power was no weaker than the 9 revolutions mysterious art. It might even be stronger than his 9 revolutions mysterious art. Lu Yiping did not speak. He stepped forward again and fought with Long Qing. Although Lu Yiping was a peak Saint King, with the help of the mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda, bell of chaos, building tree and immortal skywood array, he was evenly matched with Long Qing. Although Lu Yiping was always at a disadvantage, Long Qing could not do anything to him. Under the power of the two, the Azure Dragon Sea was smashed into pieces of small lakes, and finally, it was flattened to the ground. Even with Lu Yiping's immortal skywood array, the continents around the Azure Dragon Sea were still blasted into nothingness. The two fought from the Azure Dragon Sea to the Firmament Dome, and then from the Firmament Dome to the 9 underworlds. Affected by the two's destructive power, the continents in the Chaos world collapsed one after another. Chapter 461. All the sects, families and forces in the Chaos realm were trembling under the power of Lu Yiping and Long Qing, including the Lu family. Lu Kongji, Lu Yongji and Lu Bing were affected by Lu Yiping's power. Their faces were pale, their limbs were stiff and they found it difficult to breathe. How long has it been? Lu Kongji asked Lu Gang, the head of the Lu family, about how long Lu Yiping and Long Qing had been fighting. It's been a day and a night. Lu Gang stuttered. He couldn't be sure how long Lu Yiping and Long Qing had been fighting, but it should have been a day and a night. Previously they thought that Long Qing could defeat Lu Yiping in a few breaths, But they didn't expect that this battle would last for a day and a night. After a day and a night, not only was Lu Yiping not dead, but he was also alive and well. He seemed to be getting stronger as the battle went on. As the battle continued, Lu Yiping's aura was gradually increasing. After a day and a night, Lu Yiping's aura was at least 1/10 stronger than before. Don't underestimate this 1/10, it was 1/10 of a peak Saint King. After hearing Lu Gang say that a day and a night had passed, both Lu Kongji and Lu Yongji paled again. Previously, Ancestor Shui advised them to beg Lu Yiping to return to the Lu family, but they thought that Lu Yiping would definitely die in the battle with Long Cheng. But now, their heartstrings were trembling and they were regretting. Of course, they knew what a peak Saint King comparable to a Dao ancestor meant. This was a peak Saint King comparable to a Dao ancestor, but he was expelled from the family by them. Lu Yongji said with difficulty, Lu Yiping will definitely lose. Lord Long Cheng definitely hasn't used his strongest killing move. But even he didn't believe this. The battle had already lasted for a day and a night. How could Long Cheng possibly not even use his strongest killing move? Amidst various expressions of shock, disbelief, fear and fanaticism, Lu Yiping and Long Cheng fought as they walked. Unknowingly they had arrived at the wasteland of the universe. Along the way the primal chaos realm was affected by the two people's power, becoming a scene of desolation. Long Cheng's expression was as ugly as it could get. He stared fixedly at Lu Yiping. He was a Dao ancestor and after fighting for a day and a night, he actually couldn't kill a peak holy king. Let alone killing Lu Yiping, he couldn't even severely injure Lu Yiping. He discovered that the recovery speed of Lu Yiping's main body wasn't any weaker than the recovery speed of his great Dao body. The recovery ability of a Saint King's Saint body was no weaker than a Dao ancestor's great Dao body. Although he found it hard to believe it was the truth. Long Cheng and Lu Yiping stopped in the air above some chaotic place in the wasteland of the universe. Indifferent, Long Cheng stared at Lu Yiping and said, I didn't expect you to have cultivated two kinds of heaven-opening techniques. One was the longevity incantation from the creation jade disc, and the other was the immortal skywood incantation from the creation tree. The longevity incantation allowed Lu Yiping's recovery speed to be no weaker than Long Cheng's great Dao body, and the immortal skywood incantation, the chaos bell, the creation tree, and the mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda allowed Lu Yiping's defense to be no weaker than Long Cheng's Dao body. It was precisely because of this that after a day and night of fighting, Long Cheng still couldn't do anything to Lu Yiping. It's just that your Dao body is too weak, Lu Yiping said. Although Long Cheng was a Dao ancestor, his Dao body wasn't strong. There were 3,000 Dao bodies, and Long Cheng's Dao body couldn't even rank in the top 1,000. Hearing Lu Yiping say that his Dao body was too weak, Long Cheng's face became gloomier. This was something he regretted his entire life. Back then, because he was in a hurry to break through to the Dao ancestor realm, his foundation wasn't very strong when he was in the Saint King realm. Therefore, when he broke through to the Dao ancestor realm, his Dao body wasn't strong. Lu Yiping didn't speak again. He rushed up again and fought with Long Cheng. This time he took advantage of the battle with Long Cheng to hone his sage ruler power and great Dao. Along the way he had improved too quickly. Although the sage ruler power was pure, it still didn't meet his requirements. Through the battle with Long Cheng, he constantly honed his sage ruler power and made it more condensed. This was also the reason why after a day and night, his aura became stronger. Long Cheng obviously also discovered Lu Yiping's purpose. Thinking that Lu Yiping wanted to use him to hone his sage ruler power, Long Cheng's heart became even angrier. This time, not only did he fail to kill Lu Yiping, but he also helped Lu Yiping improve his strength. Long Cheng strengthened his strength, but no matter how much he strengthened his strength, he still couldn't do anything to Lu Yiping. Another day and night passed. Long Cheng stopped. He looked at Lu Yiping, his eyes filled with killing intent. It seems like I underestimated you. Lu Yiping shook his head. No, you overestimated yourself. Long Cheng's face flushed red. His expression changed and he finally sighed. Where are my disciples? Lu Yiping looked at Long Cheng. Let my 3 disciples go. Long Cheng said, this matter ends here. He couldn't kill Lu Yiping, so the result would be the same even if they continued to fight. Lu Yiping stared at Long Cheng. With a flick of his finger, Chen Lingqiao, Lu Jiang, and Du Li were released. Chen Lingqiao, Lu Jiang, and Du Li hadn't been devoured by Long Cheng, so their cultivation was still there. Seeing that his 3 disciples' cultivation was still there, Long Cheng's expression became slightly better. He didn't say anything but sent out a force to wrap around his 3 disciples. Then he tore through the void and disappeared without a trace. After Long Cheng left, Lu Yiping laid out a grand formation around him and went into seclusion. This time he benefited a lot from the battle with Longqing. He comprehended some things that he didn't understand in the past, so he could go into seclusion to stabilize his foundation. While Lu Yiping was in seclusion, the result of the battle between Longqing and Lu Yiping spread throughout the Chaos World. The entire Chaos World was shaken and stirred. Lu Yiping actually fought to a draw with the King of Chaos. He's still a peak Saint King. Once he breaks through to the Dao Ancestor realm, how strong will he be? The Lu family actually expelled a Dao Ancestor. Lu Kongji's intestines are probably turning green from regret. Not only his intestines are turning green, I think he's so scared that even his urine is bent. Everyone on the streets and alleys were talking about Lu Yiping and Longqing. Previously, when Lu Yiping returned to the Lu family, he arranged for his sister Lu Jiqing to stay in a safe valley. Lu Jiqing also learned about the result of the battle between Lu Yiping and Longqing. Lu Jiqing held the holy sword that Lu Yiping gave her, tears welling up in her eyes as she said, "Brother." Time flowed by. Several years went by. Somewhere in the desolate region of the universe, Lu Yiping stopped cultivating and removed the grand formation. After thinking for a moment, he flew toward the demon race's territory. Eternal Chamber of Commerce's Peng Dongyuan had found the creation jade disc in the demon race's territory. Now he had collected 21 pieces of the creation jade disc. He was only 3 pieces away from collecting them all. As long as he collected 24 pieces of the creation jade disc and comprehended the universe's 3,000 Dao physiques, he would be able to break through to the Dao Ancestor realm and condense the first of the 3,000 Dao physiques. Chapter 462. The chaos boundary was vast and boundless, but the universe boundary was not smaller than the chaos boundary. In fact, it was even larger than the chaos boundary. However, due to the influence of the chaotic airflow, the universe boundary's living conditions were worse than the chaos boundaries. Therefore, it was collectively known as the universe boundary. Heading south from the southern desolate city, crossing mountains, forests, and oceans, one would arrive at the demon race's territory. After passing through the demon race's vast territory, one would arrive at the end of the universe boundary's universe boundary. The reason it was called the end was because it was the end of Panga's heaven splitting. Some people said that as long as one reached the end of Panga's heaven splitting, one would be able to obtain Panga's inheritance. Of course, this was just a legend. Lu Yiping strolled forward, crossing thousands of mountains and rivers with every step. Some Dao-confirming sages would need 1 or 2 months to fly from the southern desolate city to the demon race's territory. However, for Lu Yiping it was only a matter of minutes. Lu Yiping's current speed was no slower than a Dao ancestor like Longqing. As Lu Yiping approached the demon race's territory, the devil qi in the air gradually increased. This devil qi was not ordinary devil qi, but devil qi with demonic nature. If an ordinary human expert cultivated under this devil qi, it would not take long for them to be demonized. Even human heavenly venerables could not stay in the demon race's territory for a long time unless they were Dao-confirming sages. A few minutes later, Lu Yiping arrived at the demon race's territory. After arriving at the demon race's territory, in order to avoid unnecessary trouble, Lu Yiping concealed his human aura. Devil qi surged around him, turning him into a powerful devil saint expert. After entering the demon race's territory, the demon race's experts sensed Lu Yiping's devil saint aura. They were all alarmed and avoided him. Lu Yiping headed towards the demon race's central region. Peng Dongyuan's fortune jade disc was found in the central region of the demon race's territory, at a place called Black Lotus River. Black Lotus River was a dangerous place for the demon race. It was shrouded in a kind of black cold qi all year round. Ordinary demon race experts could not get close to it. Lu Yiping arrived at Black Lotus River without any trouble. The reason why the Black Lotus River was called the Black Lotus River was because there was a type of black lotus growing in the river. This type of black lotus was extremely poisonous. Although the Black Lotus River was full of poisonous black lotuses and was shrouded in black cold air all year round, there was still an endless stream of devil race experts coming to the Black Lotus River. This was because the core of the Black Lotus River was one of the main ingredients for refining many precious devil race pills. Of course, if he swallowed it directly, it could also increase his strength. Therefore, thousands of devil race experts came to the Black Lotus River every day. However, even though the core of the Black Lotus was a treasure, it wasn't easy to obtain. The Black Lotus River had layers upon layers of restrictions. Moreover, there would often be a cold current that could freeze even saint monarchs. If one encountered this cold current, there was only a slim chance of survival. Therefore there were very few demon powerhouses who could obtain the Black Lotus heart every day. Most of them were just here to join in the fun. When Lu Yiping arrived at the Black Lotus River, there was a large group of devil race powerhouses surrounding it. Lord Jiliang is amazing. Today he has already obtained the 4th Black Lotus heart. Moreover, they are all 10 million years old. What does 10 million years old count as? Lord Jiliang obtained 100 million years old Black Lotus heart a few days ago. 100 million years old. Everyone exclaimed in surprise. Look, Lord Jiliang is back. Someone in the crowd shouted. Lu Yiping followed everyone's gaze and saw a figure flying out from the depths of the Black Lotus River. It was a young man with long purple hair. Even his eyebrows were purple. This young man's strength wasn't weak. He was at the peak of the true Saint realm and could enter the Saint King realm at any time. However, Lu Yiping's heart shook when he saw the young man's attire. Looking at the young man's attire, he was from the Blood Fiend Demon sect. Yin Feng, who was killed by Lu Yiping, was one of the generals of the Blood Fiend Demon sect. His other identity was the founder of the Blood Fiend Demon sect. Right at this time, a terrifying cold current appeared on the surface of the Black Lotus River. Like a hurricane, it swept towards Jiliang. When the people on the shore saw the terrifying cold current, they were shocked. Senior brother, be careful. On the shore, a beautiful young woman shouted anxiously. Seeing that the terrifying cold current was about to freeze Jiliang, the devil flames around Jiliang's body surged. His figure blurred and thousands of afterimages appeared. Then the afterimages overlapped and he dodged the cold current. Jiliang leaped towards Lu Yiping's direction. The devil clan's experts around Lu Yiping retreated, giving Jiliang some space. Only Lu Yiping remained unmoved. Jiliang's face sank seeing this. When he leaped onto the shore, he punched at Lu Yiping. Scram! Holy force surged, turning into millions of devils. Lu Yiping didn't even look at him. Instead, the devil light around him intensified. Jiliang's fist landed on the devil light around him. With a loud bang, Jiliang was sent flying. Jiliang, who was about to jump onto the shore, was sent flying back to the depths of the Black Lotus River by Lu Yiping's devil light. In the end, he was swallowed by the cold air and there was no echo for a long time. Above the Black Lotus River, the blood mist did not disperse for a long time. Everyone on the shore was stunned. For a long time they didn't regain their senses. The beautiful young woman also stood there in a daze, her face blank. Lu Yiping took a step forward, breaking through the cold air, and entered the Black Lotus River. Before everyone's eyes, his figure disappeared into the cold air. Holy King expert. Looking at Lu Yiping's disappearing figure, one of the devil clan's experts' throat moved. The beautiful young woman regained her senses and shouted anxiously at the Black Lotus River, "Senior brother." But even after a long time no one responded, and Jiliang's figure was nowhere to be seen. Everyone looked at each other. Lord Jiliang wouldn't give up just like that, right? One of the devil clan's experts stuttered, but he didn't dare to continue. Jiliang was one of the devil clan's most monstrous geniuses in this generation. Many devil clan's Holy King experts said that he would definitely enter the Holy King realm within 10,000 years. At that time he would become the youngest Holy King in the history of the devil clan. But now, the youngest Holy King in the history of the devil clan was going to die just like that? The beautiful young woman was Ji Liang's junior sister, Man Lu. She was also a Holy King of the Blood Fiend sect. Seeing that Ji Liang didn't respond for a long time, her eyes turned red and she tore through the air. It was clear that she was going to look for the Blood Fiend sect's experts. Looking at Man Lu's departure, one of the devil clan's experts muttered to himself, "Is a war about to break out?" Ji Liang was a genius nurtured by the Blood Fiend sect, and he would definitely enter the Holy King realm within 10,000 years. In the future he might even surpass the Blood Fiend sect's ancestor Yin Feng, and become a peak Holy King realm expert. If the Blood Fiend sect's ancestors knew that something had happened to Ji Liang, they would be enraged. At that time, all the Holy Kings of the Blood Fiend sect would probably turn out in full force. Very quickly, the news of Ji Liang being injured by a mysterious young man in the Black Lotus River and falling into the depths of the Black Lotus River spread like wildfire. The entire devil clan was shaken. Not long after Man Lu returned to the Blood Fiend sect, more than 10 figures soared into the air from the Blood Fiend sect's main hall, rushing towards the Black Lotus River. Chapter 463. Lu Yiping didn't know what was going on outside. After entering the Black Lotus River, he continued to fly deeper into the Black Lotus River. The Black Lotus River had many layers of space and each layer of space was a world. Therefore, even Lu Yiping would have to spend a lot of effort to enter the depths of the Black Lotus River. The deeper he went into the Black Lotus River, the denser the cold qi became. In the depths of the Black Lotus River, the cold qi that shrouded the Black Lotus River had almost turned into liquid. It was like black ink floating in the Black Lotus River's space. Even a Tao-confirming sage would find it difficult to move in the face of this ink-like cold qi. Moreover, there were restrictions everywhere in the river. The restrictions grew stronger and stronger. If a Tao-confirming sage accidentally touched these restrictions, they would be severely injured. Lu Yiping continued to fly deeper into the Black Lotus River. In the end, the cold qi in the Black Lotus River had almost solidified. At this point, even a Sage King expert would find it difficult to break through the solidified cold qi. Even Lu Yiping would have to spend a lot of effort to break through it. The resistance of the cold qi grew stronger and stronger. Even though Lu Yiping had the 9-colored barrier of the mysterious yellow pagoda, he could still feel the terrifying cold qi. If it wasn't for the mysterious yellow pagoda and the bell of primal chaos, he would have a hard time moving forward. After a while, Lu Yiping looked at the solidified cold qi in front of him and frowned. Could it be that there are no other fortune jade plates in the Black Lotus River? He was about to reach the depths of the Black Lotus River, but there was no reaction from the fortune jade plate in his body. If there were other fortune jade plates in the Black Lotus River, there would be a reaction from the fortune jade plate in his body. However, after some thought, Lu Yiping decided to continue moving forward. Since he wasn't far from the depths of the Black Lotus River, he might as well take a look at the end of the Black Lotus River. Thus, Lu Yiping circulated the Grand Tao of Fire to incinerate the cold qi in front of him and continued moving forward. Lu Yiping continued walking for a while. Suddenly, the fortune jade plate in his body vibrated. Lu Yiping was startled and then rejoiced. The good fortune jade disc. Lu Yiping took a few more steps forward. Suddenly, the frozen qi in front of him began to vibrate, as if something was about to break out of the ice. Soon, spiderweb-like cracks appeared on the frozen qi. In the blink of an eye, the cracks widened and then shattered into countless pieces. Something flew through the air. It was the good fortune jade disc. Lu Yiping reached out and grabbed the good fortune jade disc in his hand. Although the Black Lotus River's cold qi was shocking, the fortune jade disc was warm to the touch. Lu Yiping looked at the good fortune jade disc in his hand that was emitting a halo and smiled. Finally, he had gathered one more disc. Together with his previous one, he now had 22 good fortune jade discs. Only 2 more pieces left. Lu Yiping kept the good fortune jade disc in his body and started to refine it on the spot. After refining the good fortune jade disc, Lu Yiping continued to walk toward the deepest part of the Black Lotus River. Not long after Lu Yiping left, the good fortune jade disc in his body vibrated again. Lu Yiping was stunned and then overjoyed. Originally, he didn't expect to find a second good fortune jade disc. He didn't expect there to be another one in the Black Lotus River. Lu Yiping took a deep breath and walked forward. Soon, the black qi in front of him shattered and another good fortune jade disc flew out from the deepest part of the Black Lotus River and stopped in front of Lu Yiping. Looking at the 23rd good fortune jade disc in front of him, Lu Yiping couldn't suppress the excitement in his heart. The 23rd good fortune jade disc. Just one more piece. At that time, his good fortune jade disc would be complete. He was born with a good fortune jade disc. He felt that as long as he gathered all 24 good fortune jade discs, he would be able to solve the mystery of his identity. After resting for a while, Lu Yiping sat down cross-legged and started to refine the 23rd good fortune jade disc. After a while, Lu Yiping successfully refined all 23 good fortune jade discs. Lu Yiping stood up and looked towards the deepest part of the Black Lotus River. He was still missing the last piece of the creation jade disc. Would the last piece of the creation jade disc also be in the deepest part of the Black Lotus River? Lu Yiping continued to walk toward the deepest part of the Black Lotus River. However, when Lu Yiping reached the deepest part of the Black Lotus River, the good fortune jade disc in his body stopped moving. The last good fortune jade disc wasn't in the Black Lotus River. Lu Yiping couldn't help but feel disappointed. Although he didn't find the last good fortune jade disc in the deepest part of the Black Lotus River, Lu Yiping found a few black lotus cores that flickered with purplish gold light. These black lotus cores should have existed since the primeval age. 100 million years ago was the primordial era, and 1 billion years ago was the desolate era. Therefore, these black lotus cores should be at least 1 billion years old. Lu Yiping kept the black lotus cores and walked out from the deepest part of the Black Lotus River. It was difficult to enter the deepest part of the Black Lotus River from the outside, but it was much easier to walk out from the deepest part of the Black Lotus River. Soon Lu Yiping walked out of the area where the cold air had solidified. However, Lu Yiping didn't plan to leave the Black Lotus River immediately. He planned to comprehend the Great Tao in the newly obtained Good Fortune Jade Discs. Previously, he didn't have the time to comprehend the Great Tao in the Good Fortune Jade Disc he obtained from Long Cheng. Now there were 3 Good Fortune Jade Discs. There were a total of 99 Great Tao in the 3 Good Fortune Jade Discs. If he could comprehend all 99 Great Tao, he would have comprehended 2,999 Great Tao. Lu Yiping arranged several grand arrays in the depths of the Black Lotus River and sat down cross-legged. He started to comprehend the Great Tao in the 3 Good Fortune Jade Discs. Just as Lu Yiping was comprehending the Creation Jade Disc's Great Tao in the depths of the Black Lotus River, more than 10 figures broke through the air and arrived at the shore of the Black Lotus River. Every one of these figures exuded a shocking aura. They were the Blood Fiend Gate's primal ancestors, and all of them were Saint King Realm experts. Because of Ji Liang's mishap, the Blood Fiend Gate's primal ancestors came out in full force, leaving only one person to guard the sect. When Yin Yu arrived, he looked coldly at the Black Lotus River. He was Yin Feng's younger brother, and he was also the second strongest person in the Blood Fiend Gate. His Holy King Realm cultivation had reached the peak of 1 billion units, and his strength was second only to Yin Feng. Find Ji Liang first. Yin Yu said, find Ji Liang first, then find that blue-robed brat. He broke through the frigid qi in the Black Lotus River and entered it. The other Blood Fiend Gate's primal ancestors followed behind him and entered the Black Lotus River. With Ji Liang's mishap, more and more Devil Race's experts rushed to the Black Lotus River. More than 10,000 people had already gathered near the Black Lotus River. When everyone saw Yin Yu and the other Blood Fiend Gate's primal ancestors entering the Black Lotus River, a commotion broke out. I didn't expect Lord Yin Yu to come this time. I wonder how young noble Ji Liang is doing now. It's hard to say. The frigid qi in the Black Lotus River is terrifying. Young noble Ji Liang is heavily injured. If he encounters the frigid qi in the Black Lotus River, he won't be able to survive. Chapter 464. Several days passed. More and more Devil Race experts rushed to the Black Lotus River. In the end, the Black Lotus River was so crowded that not even a drop of water could trickle through. While everyone was waiting in anticipation, Yin Yu and several primal ancestors of the Blood Fiend Gate flew out from the depths of the Black Lotus River. Yin Yu was carrying a young man whose entire body had turned black, and his expression was gloomy. It's Lord Ji Liang. When the crowd saw the young man in Yin Yu's arms, an uproar broke out. Ji Liang, who was in Yin Yu's arms, was as black as ink and he was on the verge of death. A terrifying frigid qi was exuding from his body. Everyone was shocked when they saw Ji Liang being frozen by the black cold air of the Black Lotus River. Ji Liang was at the peak of the True Saint Realm, and he was half a step away from entering the True Saint Realm. Yet he was still frozen to this extent. One could imagine how terrifying the frigid qi was. After Yin Yu carried Ji Liang out of the Black Lotus River, he came to the shore and circulated his fire grand Tao to expel the black poison from Ji Liang's body. At the same time, he ordered the Blood Fiend Gate's primal ancestors, seal the Black Lotus River and find that blue-robed brat. I want to refine him into a devil corpse. The Blood Fiend Gate's primal ancestors nodded. In an instant, the Blood Fiend Gate's primal ancestors formed hand seals and set up a grand formation to seal the Black Lotus River. Soon, balls of blood-red light covered the sky above the Black Lotus River. It's the Blood River Grand Formation. Someone in the crowd exclaimed. The Blood River Grand Formation was one of the heaven-splitting grand formations, and it was passed down from the Blood River Archdevil Lord. The Blood Fiend Gate's founder Yin Feng was the Blood River Archdevil Lord's disciple. After the Blood River Grand Formation was set up, the Blood Fiend Gate's primal ancestors flashed and entered the Black Lotus River to search for Lu Yiping. As for Yin Yu, he continued to circulate his fire grand Tao to expel the frigid qi from Ji Liang's body. Under Yin Yu's Holy King energy, the frigid qi in Ji Liang's body started to disperse. Yin Yu's expression was gloomy. The frigid qi in the Black Lotus River had already invaded the depths of Ji Liang's soul, and even he couldn't expel the frigid qi from his body. But in the entire devil race, only Archdevil Lord Luoho was a Tao ancestor. How noble was Lord Luoho's status? Even if his big brother Yin Feng was seriously injured, Lord Luoho might not waste the Tao ancestor's power to heal his big brother, let alone Ji Liang, who was merely a disciple of the Blood Fiend Gate. If every disciple of the Devil Clan who was seriously injured begged Luoho to treat them, then Luo Ho wouldn't even be able to open a clinic. The more Inu thought about it, the more annoyed she became. The more she thought about it, the stronger her killing intent became. Several days later, Inu barely managed to suppress the frost poison in Ji Liang's body. However, there were still no signs of the Blood Fiend Gate's ancestors emerging from the Black Lotus River. Several days passed, and Inu saw that the Blood Fiend Devil Gate's ancestors had yet to appear. A frown formed on her face, and just as she was about to enter the Black Lotus River, she saw the Blood Fiend Devil Gate's ancestors flying out. However, there was no sign of Lu Yiping. Inu said solemnly, "No matter where he is hiding in the Black Lotus River, he will come out sooner or later. We will guard the shore and wait for him to come out." Thus, the Blood Fiend Devil Gate's ancestors stood guard at the shore of the Black Lotus River, waiting for Lu Yiping to appear. At this time, Lu Yiping sat cross-legged in the depths of the Black Lotus River with the Dao Ancestors tree above his head. He was immersed in a profound state and Grand Dao energy floated around him. Strands of Grand Dao turned into Grand Dao dragons that coiled in the space around him. With the help of the Grand Mist aura from the Dao Ancestor and the 2,900 Grand Dao he had comprehending the Grand Dao from the 3 pieces of Fortune Jade Disc went smoothly. Even so, comprehending the 99 Grand Dao from the 3 pieces of Fortune Jade Disc wasn't something that could be done in a short period of time. Even after several years, Lu Yiping had only comprehended a few Grand Daos. Inu, who had been guarding the shore of the Black Lotus River for several years, didn't see Lu Yiping coming out. His expression became uglier and uglier. During this period of time he and the Blood Fiend Devil Gate's ancestors had entered the Black Lotus River twice, but they still couldn't find Lu Yiping. Lord Inu, could he have died in the Black Lotus River? One of the Blood Fiend Devil Gate's primal ancestor couldn't help but ask. If a Saint King Realm expert encountered the terrifying frigid currents of the Black Lotus River, there was a possibility of dying. "Let's wait a little longer," Inu said solemnly. Another few years passed. Seeing that Lu Yiping still hadn't come out, Inu finally left, leaving behind one of the Blood Fiend Devil Gate's primal ancestors to guard the shore. In the blink of an eye, several decades passed. Sitting cross-legged in the depths of the Black Lotus River, Lu Yiping's body was surrounded by Grand Dao light. Golden lotuses emerged from the bottom of the Black Lotus River, and auspicious flowers fell from the void. Lu Yiping opened his eyes and heaven and earth seemed to brighten. An invisible force exuded from Lu Yiping's body, causing the frigid black qi in the Black Lotus River to roil endlessly. After several decades, he had finally comprehended the 99 Grand Dao from the Fortune Jade Disc. The auspicious cloud above his head emitted purplish golden light, and it was almost the same as the Dao Ancestor's auspicious cloud. However, Lu Yiping was still at the peak of the Holy King realm. He had yet to break through to the Dao Ancestor realm. In fact, with Lu Yiping's current cultivation he could definitely break through to the Dao Ancestor realm. However, he wasn't in a hurry to do so. He had already comprehended 2,999 Grand Dao, and there was only 1 Grand Dao left. It was the number 1 Grand Dao among the 3,000 Grand Dao, the Grand Dao of Strength. When he gathered the last piece of the Fortune Jade Disc and comprehended the Grand Dao of Strength, he would break through to the Dao Ancestor realm. At that time, Long Qing wouldn't be a match for him. The last piece of the Fortune Jade Disc. Lu Yiping muttered to himself. He felt that the last piece of the Fortune Jade Disc was also in the Devil Race's territory. Lu Yiping kept the creation tree and walked out of the Black Lotus River. Although he was still at the peak of the Holy King realm, he was completely different from before he entered the Black Lotus River. In a short while Lu Yiping saw the shore of the Black Lotus River. Since several decades had passed, many of the Devil Race's experts who had come to join in the fun had left. However, the Blood Fiend Gate's Wei Quan was still guarding the shore. Wei Quan's strength wasn't weak. He was a mid-level Holy King Realm expert, and he possessed 600 million battle Holy King Realm energy. Since the Blood River Grand Formation was still enveloping the Black Lotus River, Wei Quan knew that Lu Yiping had come out. Wei Quan sensed that Lu Yiping had come out and he got to his feet. His aura locked onto Lu Yiping, and he crushed the transmission talisman to notify Inu and the others. The other Devil Race's experts on the Black Lotus River's shore looked over when they saw someone coming out. "It's him." Someone recognized Lu Yiping. Several decades ago, many people had witnessed the battle between Lu Yiping and Ji Liang. Wei Quan walked over slowly and he looked coldly at Lu Yiping. "You've been hiding for a long time. We entered the Black Lotus River several times but we couldn't find you. I thought you were hiding in the Black Lotus River and didn't dare to come out." "Didn't dare to come out?" Lu Yiping took a step forward and arrived on the shore. At this time, sounds of whistling wind could be heard as Inu rushed over with a large group of Blood Fiend Gates experts. In the past few years, Inu and the others had been in the vicinity. The moment they heard that Lu Yiping had come out, they rushed over with all their might. Ji Liang followed beside Inu, and when he saw Lu Yiping coming out, hatred filled his heart. Chapter 465. It's him? Inu asked Ji Liang. He wanted to confirm again. It's him. Ji Liang nodded. He stared at Lu Yiping and gritted his teeth. After getting Ji Liang's confirmation, Inu brought the Fiend Blood Demon Sect's experts to Lu Yiping. You've been hiding for decades. We've been waiting for you here for decades. You've finally come out. Inu's eyes were cold. Scram. Lu Yiping only said one word. His voice rumbled and reverberated throughout the Black Lotus River. Not only the people around the Black Lotus River, but even the experts in the distant cities heard it. Inu was stunned. Then he laughed sinisterly. Brat, say it again. Say it again? Lu Yiping raised his hand and flicked a finger. Before Inu could react, she was bounced up by a terrifying force. Then she passed through the crowd around Black Lotus River and shot toward a city in the distance. Rumble. The sound did not stop for a long time. Ji Liang, who was originally standing beside Inu, looked at the empty space beside him. He was stunned when he heard the rumbling sound from far away. Wei Quan and the other experts from the Fiend Blood Demon Sect were also stunned. The experts in the Black Lotus Pool were silent. Peak Holy King. In the crowd, an ancestor from the Fiend Blood Demon Sect said in a trembling voice. He looked at Lu Yiping with fear in his eyes. To be able to easily send a high-level peak stage Holy King flying with a finger, only a top-level Holy King could do that. Peak Holy Kings were peak existences in the human race, demon race, and barbarian race. Even in the demon race's peak forces, there were very few peak Holy Kings. Lu Yiping raised his hand and pulled back Inu, who had crashed into the city far away. Everyone looked over and saw that the awe-inspiring Inu was covered in blood. She was on the verge of death, and it seemed like she was having difficulty breathing. Everyone was shocked when they saw Inu's miserable state. Even an ordinary Peak Holy King wouldn't be able to injure a high-level Peak Holy King to such a state with a single finger. Could it be that this young man possessed 2 billion do or 3 billion do? Lu Yiping looked at Inu, whose chest was heaving up and down weakly like a dead fish. I told you to scram. Do you have a problem with that? Inu looked at Lu Yiping with wide eyes filled with fear. He struggled to open his mouth. I was wrong. He still wanted to say something, but blood kept coming out of his mouth, blocking his throat and preventing him from making a sound. Wei Quan and the others trembled. Lord, our Blood Fiend Devil Gates ancestor is a subordinate of the Lord Devil Ancestor. Please spare us for the sake of the Lord Devil Ancestor. Wei Quan trembled as he pleaded. Lu Yiping looked over with a calm expression, but Wei Quan and the rest of the Blood Fiend Gates ancestors felt their hearts skip a beat. Especially Wei Yiping, his face paled. In the past few decades, more than half of the black cold poison in Ji Liang's body had been expelled. Normally he did not feel anything wrong with his body, but now he only felt his entire body turn cold. The black cold poison in his body seemed to be acting up? Yin Feng. Lu Yiping sneered. Wei Quan lowered his head, not daring to look at Lu Yiping. Yes, our Blood Fiend Devil Gates ancestor Yin Feng is a battle general under the Lord Devil Ancestor. But before he could finish his sentence, Lu Yiping's hand tightened. Inu was squeezed by an invisible force and he screamed in pain. Wei Quan and the rest of the Blood Fiend Gates experts paled. So what if he's a battle general under the Lord Devil Ancestor? Lu Yiping's voice was calm. Presumptuous. At this time, the sound of whistling wind could be heard, and a middle-aged man enshrouded in purple flames shot through the air. He was clad in a purple devil armor with various ancient divine beasts engraved on it. Lord Ziqing. Wei Quan and the rest of the Blood Fiend Gates experts were pleasantly surprised when they saw the middle-aged man. The crowd in the distance stirred. Chang Ziqing was Yin Feng's sworn brother, and he was also one of the battle generals under the Lord Devil Ancestor Rahu. However, Chang Ziqing's strength was much higher than Yin Feng's. He was already a Saint King Realm expert, and his status in the devil race was much higher than Yin Feng's. Because of this, Wei Quan and the rest of the Blood Fiend Gates experts were so excited when they saw Chang Ziqing. Chang Ziqing got Wei Quan and the rest to stand up and said, I'm just passing by, so I came to take a look. I beseech Lord Ziqing to save my Blood Fiend Inu. Wei Quan pleaded. Chang Ziqing nodded, I've already heard about this matter. Don't worry with me here, nothing will happen. After saying that, his gaze landed on Lu Yiping. He glanced at Inu, who was covered in blood, and said, "Let her go." His tone was unquestionable. Lu Yiping chuckled. "Hearing your tone, I almost thought that the Lord Devil ancestor Rahu was here." Hearing the mocking tone in Lu Yiping's words, Chang Ziqing's face sank. She walked towards Lu Yiping, and the auspicious cloud above her head suddenly punched out at Lu Yiping. Looking at Chang Ziqing's attack, Lu Yiping didn't make a move. Instead, the Grand Dao light around his body shook. Chang Ziqing's fist landed on the Grand Dao light around Lu Yiping. Suddenly, a terrifying force rebounded. Chang Ziqing was shocked and she couldn't dodge. She was sent flying. Behind her, Wei Quan and the rest of the Blood Fiend Gates experts couldn't dodge in time, and they were all sent flying. In the end, Chang Ziqing crashed into the crowd in the distance, plowing through the crowd. Chang Ziqing smashed into a barren slope in the distance. The barren slope was smashed into pieces. Dust and sand flew everywhere. Wei Quan and the rest of the Blood Fiend Gates experts fell to the ground. When they got up, they saw Chang Ziqing, who had smashed a huge hole in the barren slope, and their eyes widened in shock. The Devil Race experts, who were excited about Chang Ziqing's arrival, froze. Some of the Devil Race experts turned pale as they looked at Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping's expression was calm. A long time later, Chang Ziqing crawled out from the hole. But just as she got up, she was sent flying by Lu Yiping's finger. This finger sent Chang Ziqing flying high into the sky. In the end, she turned into a small black dot, disappearing into the horizon. The Devil Race experts present raised their heads. High in the sky, devilish clouds drifted. The dim sunlight was dazzling to the eyes. A long time later, the crowd saw Chang Ziqing falling from the sky. Boom! Chang Ziqing slammed into the ground, and the ground cracked as if there was a huge earthquake. Lu Yiping took a step forward, arriving in front of Chang Ziqing. Chang Ziqing looked up at Lu Yiping, and her eyes were filled with fear. "Who are you? When did such a powerful figure appear in the Devil Race?" 4 billion dough, barely enough. Lu Yiping looked at Chang Ziqing and said, "When he broke through to the Dao Ancestor realm, he would need to devour a huge amount of energy. Chang Ziqing's Dao fruit was barely enough." Chang Ziqing was puzzled by Lu Yiping's strange words. Suddenly, Lu Yiping's palm landed on her chest. The Grand Dao of Seals activated, sealing her holy force. Then, carrying Chang Ziqing and Inu, he tore through the void and left. When Wei Quan and the rest regained their senses, Lu Yiping's group of 3 had already disappeared without a trace. Everything happened too fast and no one had expected it. "Quick, contact the Devil God Palace and report to Lord Devil Ancestor." Wei Quan reacted and shouted anxiously. Chapter 466. The news of Lu Yiping capturing Chang Ziqing and Inu spread like wildfire. Hundreds of millions of miles away from the Black Lotus River, a group of palaces stood on a mountain range. Devil Chi filled the air, and above the palaces, Devil Chi condensed into Chaos Devils. These Chaos Devils sat cross-legged above the palaces, absorbing Devil Chi to cultivate. This group of palaces was the Devil Race's holy land, the Devil God Palace. In the center of the palaces, the pitch-black Devil Ancestor Rahu sat cross-legged on a giant black lotus. The black lotus emitted a faint purplish-black light that enveloped Rahu's body. Rahu looked down at an extremely tall Minotaur. The Minotaur's name was Niu Hao, and he was Rahu's strongest general. His cultivation was already at 1.9 billion Saint King realm. Niu Hao was Rahu's right-hand man. Usually, when Rahu was in seclusion, Niu Hao was the one in charge of the Devil Race. "Lord, how was your seclusion this time to comprehend the infinite Devil Dao?" Niu Hao asked Rahu respectfully. Rahu shook his head and his voice was faint. "Difficult. In fact, with Lord Strength, even if you didn't comprehend the infinite Devil Dao, Long Cheng and the Barbarian Ancestor are still not your match," Niu Hao said. Rahu looked in a certain direction, and he recalled a scene from many years ago. "You don't understand." Niu Hao was stunned. "Don't understand?" Rahu continued, "In fact, in this world there are more than just me, Long Cheng Yi Wuchen, and the Barbarian Ancestor." Niu Hao trembled and he asked, "Lord, do you mean there are other Dao ancestors in this world?" Rahu looked at Niu Hao and said, "That's right." Niu Hao was shocked. Right at this time, another general under Rahu, Qin Bai, rushed in. He bowed to Rahu and reported, "Lord Devil Ancestor, we just received news that something happened to Chang Ziqing in the Black Lotus River." Rahu and Niu Hao were stunned. "What happened?" Rahu asked doubtfully. Chang Ziqing was captured by someone in the Black Lotus River. Qin Bai quickly said. Captured? Niu Hao was shocked. Was it done by the barbarian race? I don't think so. Qin Bai went on. According to the people at the scene, that person's entire body was covered in devil qi. He shouldn't be a barbarian. He then went on to tell Huang Xiaolong about the conflict between Lu Yiping and the Fiend Blood Gate. Blue-robed young man. Niu Hao frowned. Then he looked at Luo Ho. Lord Demon Ancestor, what do you think? Luo Ho said in a low voice, pass down my orders. Use all forces to search for this person and find him. Niu Hao and Qin Bai acknowledged respectfully and retreated. Meanwhile, after Lu Yiping captured Chang Ziqing and Yin Yu, he found a place and used his tree of creation to devour the two of them. Half a day later, Lu Yiping arrived at Ancestral Fiend City. Ancestral Fiend City was one of the largest cities of the Fiend race. It was also the first city that Fiend Ancestor Rahu had created. Ancestral Fiend City was extremely close to the Fiend God Palace, almost right next to it. The Fiend God Palace was less than 1,000,000 li north of Ancestral Fiend City. Due to Luo Ho's orders, there were many patrolling troops in the Fiend race's cities, coming and going, interrogating people everywhere. There were even more patrolling troops in Ancestral Fiend City. However, these devil troops existed in name only to Lu Yiping. Even if Lu Yiping walked past these devil troops, they wouldn't be able to sense his presence. Lu Yiping felt that the last piece of Fortune Jade Disc was also in the Fiend race's territory. Therefore he came to Ancestral Fiend City to inquire about it. The Heaven Sorrow Chamber of Commerce was the Fiend race's largest chamber of commerce, and their headquarters was located in Ancestral Fiend City. After arriving at the Heaven Sorrow Chamber of Commerce, Lu Yiping did not waste any time. He took out a spatial ring and told the person in charge that he wanted to see their Heaven Sorrow Chamber of Commerce's president. The person in charge was shocked when he saw the spatial ring. Inside the spatial ring were 10,000 strands of Grand Mist aura. Soon, Lu Yiping met the Heaven Sorrow Chamber of Commerce's president. Knowing that Lu Yiping wanted to inquire about the Good Fortune Jade Disc, the Heaven Sorrow Chamber of Commerce's president was startled. He stared at Lu Yiping, hesitated for a moment and said, I know about the Good Fortune Jade Disc, but I don't know if it's true or false. Lu Yiping looked excited. President Yen, please say it. Whether it's true or false, these 10,000 strands of Grand Mist aura are yours. The Heaven Sorrow Chamber of Commerce's president looked at the 10,000 strands of Grand Mist aura and said, actually, this is not a secret. Many people knew about it. Millions of years ago, Lord Demon Ancestor entered the Black Lotus River. Lu Yiping was shocked. You mean the Good Fortune Jade Disc is in the hands of Lord Demon Ancestor? The Heaven Sorrow Chamber of Commerce's president looked at Lu Yiping in surprise and said, yes, Lord Demon Ancestor entered the Black Lotus River and obtained a treasure. Some say it's the Good Fortune Jade Disc. However, some say it's the heaven-opening Black Lotus Heart. Therefore, I'm not sure what kind of treasure Lord Demon Ancestor obtained. Moments later, Lu Yiping left the 10,000 strands of Grand Mist aura behind and left the Heaven Sorrow Chamber of Commerce's headquarters, heading straight for the Demon God Palace. Whether it was true or false, he had to make a trip to the Demon God Palace. After arriving at the Demon God Palace, Lu Yiping carefully concealed his aura and operated the spacetime Grand Dao of the 3,000 Grand Daos, changing spacetime. He carefully passed through layer after layer of restrictions and flew deeper into the Demon God Palace. At the same time, Lu Yiping sensed the changes in the Good Fortune Jade Disc in his body. The Demon God Palace was as big as Long Cheng's Primal Chaos City, with many layers of space and countless experts. Lu Yiping did not dare to be careless. Just as Lu Yiping passed through layer after layer of restrictions and avoided the patrolling demon race experts, the Good Fortune Jade Disc in his body suddenly vibrated. Lu Yiping stopped, pleasantly surprised. What Luo Ho obtained from the Black Lotus River was indeed the Good Fortune Jade Disc. In fact, after leaving the Heaven Sorrow Chamber of Commerce's headquarters, Lu Yiping had already guessed that what Luo Ho obtained back then was not some heaven-opening Black Lotus core. Lu Yiping sensed for a moment and looked towards the depths of the Demon God Palace. The Good Fortune Jade Disc was in the palace where Luo Ho usually cultivated. Lu Yiping spread out his divine soul and eye of lightning punishment, carefully arriving at the palace where Luo Ho cultivated. Luo Ho's palace was unguarded, but the restrictions were the strongest. There were actually 2 heaven-opening grade grand arrays. Fortunately, Luo Ho was not in the palace where he usually cultivated. Lu Yiping spent a lot of effort to pass through the restrictions and enter the palace. Inside the palace, there was a jade box with the last piece of the good fortune jade disc inside. The jade box also had restrictions set up by Luo Ho. Therefore, the last piece of the good fortune jade disc was unable to break free from the jade box's restrictions and automatically flew into Lu Yiping's hand. Lu Yiping arrived in front of the jade box. Just as Lu Yiping was carefully removing the restrictions in the jade box, demon ancestor Luo Ho flew out from the conference hall and returned to the cultivation palace. Sensing Luo Ho's aura, Lu Yiping could not help but increase his speed. Chapter 467. In the end, Lu Yiping even summoned the creation tree and activated the creation tree's great Dao talismans. Great Dao talismans floated out from the creation tree's millions of leaves like golden flowers blooming in the sky. These floating great Dao talismans poured into the jade box. Immediately the jade box radiated light. Under the creation tree's great Dao talismans, the restrictions within the jade box were penetrated layer by layer and torn apart layer by layer. Because Lu Yiping had set up a space-time array in the surroundings, the movements of the jade box did not attract the attention of the demon experts. Seeing that the restrictions within the jade box were about to be completely destroyed, Luo Ho, who was returning, suddenly sensed something amiss and roared angrily, "How dare you! Someone actually dared to enter his cultivation palace to steal." Luo Ho's roar was like chaos thunder exploding in the air, causing all the demon experts in the Demon God Palace and Ancestral Devil City to turn pale with fright. Everyone looked in Luo Ho's direction in shock, all of them trembling in fear. Who was it that made the demon ancestor so angry? Immediately, countless demon experts from the Demon God Palace flew up into the air, rapidly flying over. After Luo Ho's roar, he suddenly slammed his palm towards the palace. In an instant, demon waves surged into the sky, billions of gods and demons howled, covering the sky and earth as if wanting to destroy the world. The terrifying demon power caused the Demon God Palace, Ancestral Devil City, and even the cities further away to instantly darken, as if the world had fallen into a terrifying black abyss. Lu Yiping controlled the creation tree to continue attacking the jade box. At the same time he suddenly turned around, 19 acres of auspicious clouds appeared above his head, and punched out with all his strength, meeting the Luo Ho demonic palm. This was Lu Yiping's full-strength punch, the purest of 1.9 billion Saint King's power, in addition to the power of 2,999 Great Dao, collided with the Luo Ho demonic palm. Rumble. The sound of the explosion spread for tens of thousands of miles. The cities even further away from the Demon God Palace could hear the heaven-shaking explosion. The earth shook. Even the sky was distorted. The shock waves of the terrifying power swept out in circles. The Demon God Palace masters, who had lost their sense of hearing due to the explosion, fled in panic when they saw the shock waves spreading out. Even the Saint King realm generals under Luo Ho's command were no exception. The buzzing sound continued. Under the terrifying shock waves, the buildings in the Demon God Palace were all shaken to the point of collapsing. Fortunately, the Demon God Palace was protected by Luo Ho's formation. Otherwise, under the shock waves of their attacks, the buildings would have long been reduced to dust. Luo Ho was knocked back several hundred meters, while Lu Yiping was sent flying backwards, crashing into a stone pillar in the palace. The stone pillar collapsed. Lu Yiping felt the blood and qi in his body churning. He couldn't help but be shocked. Since the battle with Long Cheng, he'd comprehended another 99 grand daos, and he'd tempered the energy of a Saint King to an even purer state. Yet now he was still lightly injured by a single strike of Luo Ho's palm strike. Demon ancestor Luo Ho was so much stronger than Long Cheng. Lu Yiping didn't have time to think. He urged the Tree of Creation to attack the jade box again. Now it would take at most 2 strikes to completely break open the jade box's seal. Luo Ho couldn't help but exclaim in surprise when he saw that he'd actually been knocked back several hundred meters. Not only had his opponent received his palm strike, but he'd also been knocked back several hundred meters. This was truly beyond his expectations. Peak Saint King. Luo Ho's eyes turned cold. Speaking of this, his body suddenly expanded by 2 times, and he sent another palm strike at Lu Yiping. Even if you're a peak Saint King, you'll still die. Great Obliteration Demonic Art. Luo Ho's cold voice resounded through the world. A demonic palm several hundred times larger than the previous one pressed down on the palace Lu Yiping was in. The demonic palm covered the sky and spun continuously like a huge demonic disc. Every time it landed, the palace would be flattened a little. The Great Obliteration Demonic Art was a heaven-opening demonic art. It was also known as one of the strongest demonic arts in the Chaos Realm. Lu Yiping looked at the great obliteration demonic art crashing down and didn't dare to be careless. Light surged all over his body, and the power of a Saint King was pushed to the limit. The auspicious cloud above his head shot out layers of auspicious light. At the same time he activated the immortal Skywood technique, fusing it with the Tree of Creation and sent out another palm strike. When Lu Yiping's palm struck out, rays of green light flew out from all the surrounding divine trees, converging into Lu Yiping's palm strike from all directions. After the battle with Long Cheng, Lu Yiping had benefited greatly and comprehended this move. Lu Yiping's palm strike grew stronger and stronger. In the end, it was even slightly larger than Luo Ho's great obliteration demonic palm. The two's palm strikes collided again. A loud rumble shook the heavens. The collision of palm strikes produced black light that illuminated the world. Everything in the surroundings was lifted into the air. Even Luo Ho's restrictions in the Demon Divine Palace were lifted. Under the Tree of Creation's frenzied attacks, the restrictions in the Jade Box were finally blasted open. Immediately, the Fortune Jade Disc in the Jade Box was attracted by the Fortune Jade Disc in Lu Yiping's body. It flew out of the Jade Box and entered Lu Yiping's body. Lu Yiping took advantage of the momentum to soar into the air, fusing with the Tree of Creation, and was about to leave. "Wanna leave? Stay." Luo Ho's murderous voice sounded from behind Lu Yiping. A demonic spear appeared in Luo Ho's hand. The supreme treasure of the demon race, the god-slaying spear. A supreme treasure comparable to the Bell of Chaos. Luo Ho's spear stabbed out. Immediately, a spear radiance blasted through the layers of demonic chi in the Demon Divine Palace and arrived behind Lu Yiping. Just as it was about to pierce through Lu Yiping's back, the nine-colored light spun and the bell rang. The mysterious yellow exquisite pagoda and the Bell of Chaos appeared above Lu Yiping's head. The spear radiance carried an astonishing demonic power as it blasted against the nine-colored barrier and the Bell of Chaos. The nine-colored barrier and the Bell of Chaos exploded. Behind Lu Yiping, the Tree of Creation appeared. The spear radiance struck the Tree of Creation. The Tree of Creation's great Tao radiated resplendent light, as if millions of fireworks had exploded. Previously, Long Cheng's full-powered attack had blasted off a few pieces of bark on the Tree of Creation. This time, the demon ancestor Luo Ho's god-slaying spear had blasted a shocking hole in the Tree of Creation. The hole was the size of several footballs. However, several football-sized holes were negligible to the Tree of Creation. Because the Tree of Creation was the size of a continent, it was at most a small scar. After the god-slaying spear's attack, Lu Yiping operated the great Tao of time and space with all his might. In the blink of an eye, he had already left the Demon Divine Palace. In a breath, he had already disappeared into the horizon, submerging into the billowing demonic chi. Demon ancestor Luo Ho snorted coldly as he tore through the void. His figure flashed as he gave chase. His speed was even faster than Lu Yiping's. Lu Yiping's current speed was comparable to an ordinary Tao ancestor powerhouse. However, demon ancestor Luo Ho was no ordinary Tao ancestor. Seeing demon ancestor Luo Ho give chase, the demon powerhouses of the Demon Divine Palace also gave chase. However, not long after Qin Bai and the others left the Demon Divine Palace, they completely lost track of Lu Yiping and Luo Ho. Even the peak Saint King Niu Hao could not catch up to Lu Yiping and Luo Ho. Chapter 468. Unable to catch up, Niu Hao, Qin Bai, and the rest could only return to the Demon God Palace. Lu Yiping frowned when he sensed the archdevil ancestor Rahu chasing after him, but he didn't mind. He had the Bell of Chaos and the mysterious yellow pagoda. Rahu couldn't break through his defenses. Lu Yiping didn't leave the Demon God Palace's territory, instead he flew around it. Since Rahu wanted to chase after him, he would let him chase until he was satisfied. Thus, the two of them flew one after another, chasing after each other, exchanging blows. Just as Lu Yiping had said, although Rahu was strong, he couldn't injure Lu Yiping, just like when Long Cheng fought Lu Yiping. Long Cheng had 100 million units of Tao ancestor strength, and Rahu was stronger than Long Cheng, but his Tao ancestor strength was only 200 million units. The two of them fought as they flew. Destructive power swept through the Demon God Palace's territory. As the two of them fought, the Demon God Palace's cities were reduced to dust. The Demon God Palace's experts fled in panic. In less than half a day, the Demon God Palace's territory was devastated. Rahu chased after Huang Xiaolong, his face growing darker and darker. He knew that Lu Yiping was deliberately following the Demon God Palace's territory. Half a day later, Rahu stopped in front of Lu Yiping, blocking Lu Yiping's path. Lu Yiping, hand over the fortune jade disc. Rahu's eyes were cold. Otherwise, I will enter the Demon God Palace's territory and wipe out your Lu family at the risk of a war between the Demon God Palace and the human race. Lu Yiping sneered, I've been expelled from the Lu family, the Lu family has nothing to do with me. Rahu's face was gloomy, his eyes burning with anger, but you still have a younger sister, right? When I find her, I'll make her suffer a fate worse than death. Lu Yiping was calm, do you think your Demon God Palace can find my sister now? Rahu choked. Lu Yiping muttered, 100,000 strands of grand mist aura. Luo Ho was taken aback, and his eyes flickered with uncertainty. He understood Lu Yiping's meaning, 100,000 strands of grand mist aura in exchange for his fortune jade disc, and the matter would end here. Lu Yiping said, I will enter the Dao ancestor realm sooner or later. Luo Ho did not speak. He stared at Lu Yiping, glanced at the sea of grand mist aura behind Lu Yiping, and said in a low voice, 500,000 strands of grand mist aura. Lu Yiping waved his hand, and 500,000 strands of grand mist aura flew out from the creation tree and landed in front of Rahu. The creation tree could continuously produce grand mist aura. To Lu Yiping, even 5 million strands of grand mist aura could not compare to the good fortune jade disc. After handing over 500,000 strands of grand mist aura to Luo Ho, Lu Yiping tore through the air and left. Looking at the direction Lu Yiping disappeared in, Luo Ho's face was gloomy. In the end he sighed. However, he knew that with Lu Yiping's current strength, it was impossible for him to snatch the creation tree from Lu Yiping's hands. Luo Ho collected the 500,000 strands of grand mist aura and returned to the Demon God Palace. When Luo Ho returned to the Demon God Palace, Niu Hao, Qin Bai and the rest came to greet him. Lord Demon Ancestor, is that Lu Yiping? Niu Hao guessed. They had all seen the battle between Lu Yiping and Luo Ho, and it wasn't difficult to guess Lu Yiping's identity. Luo Ho grunted in acknowledgement, and arrived at his original cultivation palace. Seeing that his cultivation palace had been reduced to dust, his face turned ugly. He had never been so angry. Lord Demon Ancestor, should we go to the Lu family and annihilate them? Niu Hao asked. Lu Yiping first killed Lu Pailan and stole the Demon God Palace's supreme treasure, the Thorn of Scattered Souls. Lu Yiping then killed Yin Feng, and now he had sneaked into the Demon God Palace, provoking the Demon God Palace again and again. Luo Ho said solemnly, Lu Yiping's matter ends here. Zhu Hao, Qin Bai and the rest were stunned. After Lu Yiping left the Demon God Palace, he arrived at a certain valley. He laid out a grand formation and began refining the last piece of the fortune jade disc. Soon Lu Yiping refined the last piece of the fortune jade disc. 24 pieces of the fortune jade disc merged into one, emitting layers of green light. Strands of grand Dao flew out, exactly 3,000 grand Dao. At the same time, something inside Lu Yiping's body began to awaken. In a trance, Lu Yiping seemed to have returned to a time before the heavens and earth were created and before the primordial chaos was decided. At this moment, the world was filled with chaotic energy. Amidst the endless chaotic energy, he saw a green lotus. This azure lotus flower bloomed with multicolored light, illuminating the endless chaos space. When Lu Yiping saw this green lotus, some memories that he had never seen before appeared in his mind. So it's like this. Lu Yiping looked at the azure lotus flower and understood his origins. It turned out that he was the reincarnation of the Genesis Green Lotus. In a certain sense, he was the Genesis Green Lotus, and the Genesis Green Lotus was him. Was this the reason why he could refine the fortune jade disc while others couldn't? Because the fortune jade disc was formed from the Genesis Green Lotus seed. After Lu Yiping understood his origins, he began to comprehend the grand Dao in the last piece of the fortune jade disc. There was only one grand Dao in the last piece of the fortune jade disc, and that was the grand Dao of strength, which was ranked first. Although there was only one great Dao of strength, Lu Yiping still used several decades to successfully comprehend it. After decades, Lu Yiping successfully comprehended the grand Dao of strength. At this point he had completely comprehended all 3,000 grand Dao. Lu Yiping began to merge the 3,000 grand Dao one by one. To surpass the Saint realm, one must merge with the grand Dao. Only then could one break through to the Tao ancestor realm. Of course, merging with the grand Dao was not easy. Otherwise, some peak Saint Kings would not be stuck at the peak of the Saint King realm and unable to break through. Lu Yiping was the reincarnation of the Genesis Green Lotus and had the complete fortune jade disc. Therefore, merging with the grand Dao was not difficult for him. In one day Lu Yiping successfully merged the first Grand Tao, then the second, the third, the fourth. However, the further he went, the harder it was to merge with the Grand Tao. Even Lu Yiping gradually slowed down. When he merged with the 1000th Grand Tao, Lu Yiping spent a full year to merge with the Grand Tao. When he merged with the 2000th Grand Tao, Lu Yiping spent decades. Time flowed by, and hundreds of thousands of years passed. Suddenly, the valley where Lu Yiping was located shook violently. The tremors continued to spread, and finally spread to the Devil Race territory. One continent after another in the Devil Race territory began to shake. What's going on? A Devil Race Saint Realm expert exclaimed. Why is the spiritual energy of heaven and earth so violent? The Devil Race experts flew out one after another, and some Saint Kings who lived in seclusion were also alarmed. Then suddenly the wind and clouds changed color, and lightning filled the air, enveloping heaven and earth. A terrifying pressure towered over the heavens. This is a Tao ancestor? A top Saint King expert was shocked. Someone is breaking through to the Tao ancestor realm. Who is breaking through to the Tao ancestor realm? Chapter 469. The news that someone was about to break through to the Tao ancestor realm quickly spread to the human territory of the Chaos realm. All the experts in the human territory were shocked. In the Chaos City, Long Cheng also received the news. Long Cheng's eldest disciple Chen Lingchao asked, Master, could it be Lu Yiping? Many people are saying that Lu Yiping is about to break through to the Tao ancestor realm. Long Cheng shook his head. It's definitely not Lu Yiping. Although Lu Yiping is a peak Saint King, it takes hundreds of millions of years for him to reach the Tao integration stage. Even if Lu Yiping has some achievements, it will take millions of years. Therefore it can't be Lu Yiping. Lu Jiang said, Master, if it's really Lu Yiping then? Long Cheng narrowed his eyes. Even if it's really Lu Yiping, he's just a Tao ancestor. There's nothing to worry about. I was careless back then and didn't bring the Chaos City with me. If he dares to come here, I'll make him regret it. In the Lu family, Lu Kongji, Lu Gang, and Lu Yongji were also sitting in the same hall. Ancestor Snow glanced at them and said, There are rumors in the outside world that Lu Yiping is about to break through to the Tao ancestor realm. Lu Kongji, Lu Yongji, and the others didn't look good. Lu Bing hesitated and said, Ancestor Solitude, why don't you ask Lord Lu for help? Lu Kongji was silent. Ask Lu Yiping for help? Lu Kongji's eyes were empty. What's the use of asking Lord Lu for help now? The hall was silent. Back then, Lord Fiend Patriarch Rahu's Tao integration took hundreds of millions of years. Lu Yiping's Tao integration can't be that fast, right? Said Lu Yongji. Some say that the Tao integration this time is sacred ancestor Yin Yang. Saint Yin Yang ancestor was a peak Saint King and had been there for 600 to 700 million years. At this moment, the valley Lu Yiping was in was filled with all sorts of lights. Lu Yiping's figure was completely submerged in these lights. Just like when he had broken through from the Saint realm to the Saint King realm, the auspicious cloud above Lu Yiping's head began to shrink continuously. It shrunk from 19 mu to 18 mu, 17 mu, 16 mu, and finally to 1 mu. It was still shrinking. However, when it shrunk to 10 mu, its speed became slower and slower. The glow of the auspicious cloud gradually dimmed, as if it was going to be stuck. At this time, Lu Yiping flicked his finger and Chang Ziqing's Tao fruit fell down from the creation tree. He then swallowed it. Immediately, the auspicious cloud above his head shone brightly and continued to shrink. This time, there were no more obstructions and the auspicious cloud successfully shrunk to the size of a grain of rice. When Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud was as small as a speck of dust, it began to blossom with layers of purple gold light. The Saint King power in Lu Yiping's body also transformed into Tao ancestor power. When Lu Yiping's Saint King power completely transformed into Tao ancestor power, Lu Yiping's originally unstable aura gradually stabilized. As his aura stabilized, the auspicious cloud above his head gradually expanded. His Tao ancestor power grew stronger and stronger. After he had completely refined Chang Ziqing's Tao fruit, Lu Yiping also swallowed Yin Yu's Tao fruit. However, even after refining Yin Yu's Tao fruit, Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud didn't even reach half a mu. He had broken through to the Tao ancestor realm, so the Tao fruit of a Saint King expert was no longer of much use to him. Only the Tao fruit of a peak Saint King expert would have an obvious effect. Lu Yiping stood up and felt the changes in his body. Although a Saint King was stronger than a saint, his body was still a saint physique. Now, his body had completely transformed from a saint physique to a Tao physique. Moreover, it was the creation Tao physique, which ranked first among the 3,000 Tao physiques. The creation Tao physique was the strongest among the 3,000 Tao physiques in terms of defense, power, and speed. It was no exaggeration to say that even if he didn't use the creation tree now, his defense was much stronger than when he used the creation tree. Lu Yiping tore through the air and left. Now that he had broken through to the Tao ancestor realm, it was time to go to the abyssal sea to get the earth-splitting chisel. With Lu Yiping's current strength, he didn't fear the abyssal sea at all. The abyssal sea was in the depths of the universe's wasteland, extremely far away from the demon race and the barbarian race. If Lu Yiping was a peak Saint King, it would take him several days to reach the abyssal sea. However, with Lu Yiping's current speed, he would arrive at the abyssal sea in half an hour at most. In the wasteland of the universe, the deeper one went, the more violent the chaotic airflow became. However, this chaotic airflow was nothing to Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping didn't defend himself and directly tore through the air. The chaotic airflow was plowed away by Lu Yiping continuously. In less than half an hour, a pitch-black ocean appeared in front of Lu Yiping's eyes. This ocean wasn't on land, but it was suspended in the wasteland of the universe. It was unknown how high it was and one couldn't see the end of it. Its depth was unfathomable. This was the abyssal sea. The abyssal sea existed before the creation of the sky, but no one knew how long it had existed. This was because the abyssal sea existed before Luoho and the rest of the demon race appeared. Lu Yiping took a step forward and arrived in front of the abyssal sea. The abyssal ocean continued to churn like a vast and boundless mirror that blocked the view of the world. What surprised Lu Yiping was that when he arrived in front of the abyssal sea, he saw many experts from the human race, demon race, and even the barbarian race standing in front of it. From these people's conversation, Lu Yiping found out that the abyssal sea had been rising in the past few days. Since the creation of the sky, countless experts had been swallowed by the abyssal sea, and the treasures of these experts had sunk to the bottom of the sea. Every time the tide rose, some treasures would float to the surface. However, when the tide rose, although the treasures would float to the surface, if someone took the opportunity to enter it, they would still sink to the bottom of the sea. Lu Yiping ignored these people and directly broke through the surface of the abyssal sea. He entered the abyssal sea and was swallowed by the water in the blink of an eye. Many people on the shore were stunned when they saw Lu Yiping enter the abyssal sea. Who is that young man in blue? How dare he enter the abyssal sea? A tall lady in the crowd asked in surprise. This tall lady was more than 3 meters tall. She was the princess of the barbarian race, the daughter of the barbarian race leader, and the granddaughter of the barbarian ancestor. The barbarian race was generally taller than the human race. Is that Master Lu Yiping? A human race expert looked at the spot where Lu Yiping disappeared and said in a trembling voice, "What, Lu Yiping?" The crowd was in an uproar. At this moment, after Lu Yiping entered the abyssal sea, a shocking devouring power came from the bottom of the abyssal sea. The devouring power was so strong that even Lu Yiping, who was already a Tao ancestor, was shocked. Originally, when he was a peak sage king, he wanted to try entering the abyssal sea to see if he could find the earth-splitting chisel. Now he could not help but feel lucky that he did not enter the abyssal sea before. Otherwise, he might really be trapped at the bottom of the abyssal sea. Lu Yiping resisted the devouring power from the bottom of the abyssal sea and slowly went down to the bottom of the abyssal sea. The deeper he went, the stronger the devouring power became. Just like that, after flying down for a few days, Lu Yiping arrived at the bottom of the abyssal sea. What Lu Yiping did not expect was that as soon as he arrived at the bottom of the abyssal sea, a giant rock attacked him. Chapter 470. This giant rock's body was extremely large. It was a Saint King and a top Saint King at that. Its strength was even stronger than Chang Ziqing's, possessing 1.7 billion Saint King energy. The giant Leviathan swept its tail over and the violent Saint King energy caused waves to roll on the abyssal sea, creating a terrifying tsunami. Lu Yiping's expression was normal as he casually pointed at the giant Leviathan's tail and sent it flying. The giant Leviathan was sent flying in the abyssal sea, crashing into countless rocks and flying ships before finally crashing to the ground. From the outside, the abyssal sea did not seem to be on land, but after entering, there was land at the bottom of the abyssal sea. The giant Leviathan crashed to the bottom of the sea and sand was sent flying. The bottom of the sea was turbid. Lu Yiping took a step forward and came to the top of the giant Leviathan's head. He then punched and smashed the giant Leviathan into the bottom of the sea. In a short while, Lu Yiping had subdued the giant Leviathan. This giant Leviathan had 1.7 billion Saint King energy. After subduing it, he could keep it by his sister's side and protect her. After subduing the giant Leviathan, Lu Yiping learned a lot about the Abyssal Sea from the giant Leviathan. The bottom of the Abyssal Sea was vast and boundless, and there were many holy lands. From the opening of the sky until now, countless experts had been swallowed by the Abyssal Sea. Among these experts, some were saints and some were saint kings. These people did not die. Although they could not leave, they survived at the bottom of the Abyssal Sea. In the long years, these saints and saint kings became partners and had children. After many years, many holy lands were formed. Have you heard of the earth-splitting chisel? Lu Yiping asked. The giant Leviathan shook its head and said no. Lu Yiping looked at the endless Abyssal Sea and frowned. It seemed that it would not be easy to find the earth-splitting chisel. Lu Yiping asked the giant Leviathan a few more questions and then flew forward on the giant Leviathan. The earth-splitting chisel should not have been found by others yet. Therefore he was mainly looking for places outside of the Holy Lands. There were several danger zones at the bottom of the Abyssal Sea. Among them, even peak saint kings could not enter. One was called the Cave of Despair and the other was called the Light of Reincarnation. Lu Yiping decided to enter these two danger zones to take a look. He felt that the earth-splitting chisel should be in one of these two danger zones. Under the giant Leviathan's lead, Lu Yiping. The entrance to the Cave of Despair was only 2 to 3 meters wide. Only 2 to 3 people could enter at the same time. The cave gave off a heart-palpitating aura and a whimpering sound that made people panic. Even the giant Leviathan, which had 1.7 billion Saint King power, looked at the Cave of Despair in fear. This Cave of Despair was no laughing matter. Many Saint King realm experts had entered, but it was hard for them to come out. Even if some top-level Saint King realm experts were lucky enough to escape, their souls would suffer heavy injuries, and they would lose their minds. Top-level Saint King realm cultivators could be said to be the peak existence in this world, yet they had actually become insane. It was hard to believe, but that was the truth. There were more than one top-level Saint King realm cultivator who had become insane after entering the Cave of Despair. Wait for me outside, Lu Yiping said to the giant Leviathan. The giant Leviathan relaxed and said, Lord, be careful. I heard there are terrifying noises inside the Cave of Despair. As for what kind of noises they were, the giant Leviathan did not know. Lu Yiping nodded and entered the Cave of Despair. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared into the dark airflow. The giant Leviathan looked at Lu Yiping's disappearing figure and its heart tightened. Although Lu Yiping was a Dao ancestor, it was said that even a Dao ancestor could not stay in the Cave of Despair for long. Moreover, the Cave of Despair had the power to injure a Dao ancestor. After Lu Yiping entered the Cave of Despair, the whimpering noises at the cave entrance became 100 times louder. It was like a raging wind, but also like the wailing of thousands of ghosts. The whimpering noises contained a terrifying demonic power that could drill into people's minds. Lu Yiping felt the terrifying demonic power of the whimpering noises. No wonder it was said that peak Saint King realm experts could not withstand the whimpering noises. The whimpering noises contained the world's grand Tao and a trace of heavenly Tao's power. Lu Yiping continued to fly deeper into the Cave of Despair. Although he had broken through to the Tao ancestor realm, he did not dare to be careless. He summoned the Tree of Creation. The Tree of Creation stood behind Lu Yiping. Grand Tao light surged, illuminating space after space. Under the Tree of Creation's power, the whimpering noises were blocked outside. However, as Lu Yiping continued to fly deeper into the Cave of Despair, the whimpering noises became stronger. Even the Tree of Creation's Grand Tao power could not completely block the whimpering noises. The whimpering noises passed through the Tree of Creation's Grand Tao power and kept drilling into Lu Yiping's mind. In the beginning it was nothing. However, towards the end, Lu Yiping also felt a heavy feeling in his head. However, Lu Yiping did not return to the cave entrance. Instead, he continued to fly deeper. The Cave of Despair was filled with an aura that made him feel uncomfortable. Therefore, Lu Yiping wanted to investigate. This aura might be the earth-splitting chisel. After flying for a while, the whimpering noises became louder and louder. The terrifying whimpering noises came from all directions. People who were in the middle of it felt like they were completely drowned by the sound waves. Even Lu Yiping felt a headache coming on. Just as Lu Yiping felt a splitting headache, he suddenly saw a faint light in front of him. Within the light, he could vaguely see a chisel that was several feet long. Lu Yiping's mind shook as he increased his speed. When Lu Yiping arrived in front of the chisel, he finally saw the true appearance of the chisel. This chisel was covered in mysterious runes. Even Lu Yiping could not recognize these runes. These runes seemed to be condensed from some kind of power of heaven and earth. The despairing aura that pervaded the cave of despair came from these runes. The earth-splitting chisel. Although Lu Yiping had never seen the earth-splitting chisel before, he knew that this was the earth-splitting chisel that was as famous as the heaven-splitting divine axe. Lu Yiping found it hard to suppress his excitement. He reached out and grabbed the earth-splitting chisel. The moment he held it, the earth-splitting chisel exploded with a terrifying light. The mysterious runes on the chisel were constantly circulating with light. A terrifying aura surged out like a boundless sea. Lu Yiping felt a sense of suffocation when he was hit by this terrifying aura. The earth-splitting chisel was shaking. Lu Yiping's hand was almost shaken off. The auspicious cloud above Lu Yiping's head urged the power of a Tao ancestor with all his strength. Only then was he able to hold the earth-splitting chisel tightly in his hand. Even so, the earth-splitting chisel was still shaking. One man and one chisel persisted for several days before the earth-splitting chisel finally calmed down. Lu Yiping put away the earth-splitting chisel. He did not linger and left. Before long, Lu Yiping returned to the entrance of the cave of despair. But before he came out of the cave, he heard the sounds of fighting outside. Lu Yiping came out of the cave and saw the giant Leviathan being besieged by two people. Chapter 471. The two people besieging the giant Leviathan were not weak. They both had a strength of 1.7 billion Saint Kings. One of them was a middle-aged man in a Taoist robe. The other was an old man in a gray divine armor. Both of them wielded saint artifacts. Under their joint efforts, the giant Leviathan was forced to retreat, and there were many sword wounds on its body. However, although they had the upper hand, they could not defeat the giant Leviathan immediately. "Old Yellow, fight me one-on-one if you have the guts." The giant Leviathan roared at the old man. "What's the point of teaming up?" The old man sneered. "It's enough to kill you. What's the point of having guts?" The long sword in his hand swung out, and thousands of sword rays pierced through the air, forming a shocking sword rain that attacked the giant Leviathan's eyes. Just as the giant Leviathan was about to retreat, the thousands of sword rays suddenly stopped in front of the giant Leviathan. They were stunned and looked over. A young man in a blue robe slowly walked out of the cave of despair. When the giant Leviathan saw Lu Yiping, it smiled in surprise. "Lord, you're out." Lu Yiping grunted in acknowledgement. The other two looked at each other in surprise. "Who are you?" the old man asked Lu Yiping in a deep voice. "Lu Yiping." Lu Yiping replied. The middle-aged man and old man were puzzled. Lu Yiping? Obviously, the two of them had never heard of Lu Yiping. The sea abyss was isolated from the outside world. Therefore, the sea abyss world did not know about the outside world, let alone Lu Yiping's name. "We're from the Sky Pillar Holy Land." The middle-aged man said in a deep voice. "This is between us and Tai Kuan. Please don't interfere. Otherwise, no one in the sea abyss can save you." Although the Sky Pillar Holy Land was not well known in the outside world, it was the #1 holy land in the sea abyss world. There were many experts in the Holy Land, and their forces covered the entire sea abyss world. Although the Sky Pillar Holy Land did not have any Tao Ancestor Realm experts, they had more than 40 Saint Kings. Their strength was stronger than the Zhu family, the head of the Chaos World's 4 major families. Lu Yiping looked at the two of them and said, 1.7 billion Do, not bad." Although the two of them weren't peak Saint Kings, if he consumed their fruit of the way, his Tao ancestor power should be able to break through to 200 million units. Not bad? When the two heard Lu Yiping's words, they were puzzled. Then they saw Lu Yiping grab them with one hand. "You're courting death." Seeing this, the old man slashed out with the sword in his hand. The power of 1.7 billion Saint Kings slashed towards Lu Yiping with heavy sword rain. However, Lu Yiping's hand remained the same. He clenched his fist in the air, shattering the heavy rain of swords. Then he continued to grab at the two people. The two of them were taken aback and attacked Lu Yiping at the same time. The sword in the old man's hand burst forth with incomparably resplendent sword light. Layers upon layers of sword chi surged forward like the waves of the deep sea, bombarding Lu Yiping. The middle-aged man used a saber, and his saber chi was thousands of feet long. Its power was even stronger than the old man's. However, Lu Yiping flicked his hand in the air, and the two people's sword chi and saber chi exploded again. The two of them were shocked and wanted to retreat, but they were one step too slow. Lu Yiping's power enveloped them and lifted them in front of him. "Who are you?" The old man looked at Lu Yiping in horror. Lu Yiping was too lazy to talk to the two of them. He sealed their power and threw them into the Tree of Creation space. "How is this Atlas holy ground?" Lu Yiping asked the giant Leviathan. At the mention of the Atlas holy ground, the giant Leviathan's face was filled with anger. The Atlas holy ground covers the sky in the abyssal ocean world and bullies the weak. If some weak sects offend the Atlas holy ground, it's common for them to be annihilated. The men are killed directly and the women's fates are even worse. They are tortured to death. Lu Yiping knew what the giant Leviathan meant by torture. However, the Atlas holy ground is big. Many holy grounds in the abyssal ocean world dare not speak out. The giant Leviathan said angrily, "There are many cultivation paradises in the abyssal ocean world. However, 9 out of 10 paradises are occupied by the Atlas holy ground. Moreover, some of the ancestors of the Atlas holy ground cultivate the great Tao of the devil. They are ruthless and cruel." The giant Leviathan listed the evil deeds of the Atlas holy ground one by one. After listening for a while, Lu Yiping asked the giant Leviathan to bring him to the Atlas holy ground. The Atlas holy ground was quite far from the Cave of Despair. However, with Lu Yiping and the giant Leviathan's speed, they arrived at the Atlas holy ground in less than half a day. The Atlas holy ground was very big. Although it was not as big as the demon territory, it was still half the size of the demon territory. One continent was connected to another. On the continents, there were many cities and hundreds of millions of flying ships. Disciples were coming and going on their flying swords. These disciples were not weak. Many of them were golden immortals of the great all-embracing heaven. The giant Leviathan said, "The Atlas holy ground has a total of 10,800 continents. Each continent is a formation. These formations are all connected together to form a sky-splitting formation called the Abyssal Ocean Formation. This Abyssal Ocean Formation is very strong. It is the first formation in the Abyssal Ocean world. It is almost one with the entire Abyssal Ocean. Even if 10 Peak Saint Kings attacked the Atlas holy ground, they would not be able to break this Abyssal Ocean Formation. It is also because of this Abyssal Ocean Formation that no one in the Abyssal Ocean world can shake the Atlas holy ground." Lu Yiping's expression was normal. He clenched his fist and punched out. Suddenly, a golden fist print thousands of miles wide broke through the air. Boom! The golden fist print instantly blasted open the Atlas holy ground's defensive boundary. The world exploded. The entire Atlas holy ground shook violently. On the central continent of the Atlas holy ground, the 43 Saint King ancestors of the Atlas holy ground rushed into the sky. As soon as they did, they saw a terrifying golden fist print with rolling golden waves. "Quick, fully activate the Abyssal Ocean Formation." The strongest ancestor of the Atlas holy ground, Duo Elan, roared. Following Duo Elan's words, the continents of the Atlas holy ground lit up one after another. The light soared into the sky, illuminating almost every corner of the Abyssal Ocean world. The waves in the Abyssal Ocean world surged, alarming the other holy grounds. The Atlas holy ground has fully activated the Abyssal Ocean Formation. What's going on? When the Abyssal Ocean Formation was fully activated, Lu Yiping's golden fist print continued forward, blasting open the Abyssal Ocean holy ground's continent's defensive formations. Every time a defensive formation was blasted open, the Atlas holy ground would shake violently, and the Abyssal Ocean would become turbulent. In the end, the Atlas holy ground shook more and more violently as if it was about to collapse. When the 43 Saint King ancestors of the Atlas holy ground saw that even the Abyssal Ocean Formation was unable to block the golden fist print, their expressions changed. "It's a Tao ancestor?" A Saint King from the Atlas holy ground trembled. A Tao ancestor. The 43 Saint Kings of the Atlas holy ground, who had always been calm, panicked. "We have the Abyssal Ocean Formation. What's there to be afraid of? Everyone, attack together and activate the Abyssal Ocean Formation. We might even be able to fight a Tao ancestor." The strongest ancestor of the Atlas holy ground suddenly shouted. He flew into the sky and clapped his hands. 1.9 billion Saint King power poured into the Abyssal Ocean Formation's core. Chapter 472. Seeing this, the other 42 Saint Kings also made their moves, pouring their Saint King power into the Abyss Ocean Formation. The Abyss Ocean Formation shone brightly like never before. Streaks of black light gathered from all directions of the Abyss Ocean, pouring into the Abyss Ocean Formation. The power of the formation rippled and grew stronger. Lu Yiping's golden fist was obviously slower as it broke through the Atlas Sacred Lands formations. It was not as smooth as before. However, even so, Lu Yiping's golden fist was still able to break through the Atlas Sacred Lands formations. Every time a formation was broken, the Abyss Ocean Formation's light dimmed a little. The Abyssal Ocean Formation, which had been shining brightly with the power of 43 Saint Kings, quickly dimmed. Even though the strongest primogenitor of the Sky Pillar had activated his 1.9 billion Saint King power, it was useless. Finally, the golden fist reached the central continent of the Atlas Sacred Land. The central continent of the Atlas Ocean Formation was the last major formation of the Abyss Ocean Formation. Its defense was also the strongest. However, Lu Yiping's golden fist was still unstoppable and broke through it. Seeing the golden fist breaking through the central Abyss Ocean Formation, the Atlas primogenitor roared angrily. His body expanded and he punched out with both fists to meet the golden fist. At the last moment he still did not want to give up. However, as soon as he punched out, he and the other Saint Kings were sent flying by Lu Yiping's golden fist. The golden fist tore through layers of space, sending the 43 Saint Kings flying to the end of the sky. Loud rumbling sounds came from the end of the sky. The giant Kuan looked at the Abyss Ocean Formation and the 43 Saint Kings that had been sent flying. It felt its mouth go dry. Was this the power of a Tao ancestor? This was the power of a Tao ancestor. In front of the power of a Tao ancestor, the power of a Saint King was weak. Even a pinnacle Saint King could not withstand it. After all, the strongest primogenitor of the Atlas Sacred Land was not Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping stepped into the air and walked into the Atlas Sacred Land. None of the continents in the Holy Land were intact. On the continents, huge fissures crisscrossed the ground, mountains collapsed, and forests collapsed. The cities on the continent had also collapsed. In the city, the disciples of the Sky Pillar Holy Land looked at Lu Yiping in fear. Some had already prostrated themselves on the ground. Lu Yiping arrived at the central continent of the Sky Pillar Holy Land. Since the central continent had the strongest defensive formation, it was still relatively intact. Lu Yiping waved his hand and pulled the Sky Pillar Holy Land's 43 primogenitors back. Sky Pillar's 43 Saint Kings looked at Lu Yiping, and they could not hide their fear. "May I know how our Sky Pillar Holy Land has offended your excellency?" Sky Pillar's strongest primogenitor asked. "It's not that I've offended you. I just don't like your Sky Pillar Holy Land," Lu Yiping said. "It was as simple as that. I am a subordinate of Lord Demon Ancestor Luoho. Please forgive us for Lord Luoho's sake," Sky Pillar's strongest primogenitor suddenly said. "Luoho's people." Lu Yiping was expressionless. "Yes, I entered the Abyssal Sea in accordance with Lord Luoho's wishes," Sky Pillar's strongest primogenitor said. Lu Yiping slapped him and sent him flying. Then, with a flick of his finger, he sent 43 streams of power into the bodies of the 43 primogenitors, sealing their powers and throwing them into the creation tree's space. Among the 43 Saint Kings of the Sky Pillar Holy Land, 1 was a peak Saint King, 14 were top-level Saint Kings, and 4 had more than 1.7 billion Saint King power. In addition to the 2 from before. At that time, after Lu Yiping refined their Tao fruits, to what extent would his strength rise? Thus, Lu Yiping cultivated in seclusion in the central continent of the Sky Pillar Holy Land and took the opportunity to refine the Earth Splitter Chisel. As for the other disciples of the Sky Pillar Holy Land who escaped, Lu Yiping left them to the giant Leviathan. Without the 43 Saint Kings, the Sky Pillar Holy Land's disciples were no match for the giant Leviathan. In an instant, blood rained down from the sky. Sitting cross-legged in the palace, Lu Yiping first took out the Earth Splitter Chisel and began to refine it. The Earth Splitter Chisel was a heaven-splitting divine artifact. It was harder to refine than Lu Yiping had imagined. Even with the help of the Fortune Jade Disc and his status as a Tao ancestor, it took Lu Yiping several hundred years to refine the Earth Splitter Chisel. After refining the Earth Splitter Chisel, Lu Yiping breathed a sigh of relief. The Earth Splitter Chisel was comparable to the heaven-splitting divine axe. Now that he had the Earth Splitter Chisel, even Demon Ancestor Luoho was no match for him. Next, Lu Yiping began to refine the Tao fruits of the Sky Pillar Holy Land Saint Kings. Lu Yiping first refined the power of peak Saint Kings, followed by 1.8 billion power of Saint Kings, then 1.7 billion power of Saint Kings. Soon, Lu Yiping's Tao ancestor strength broke through 100 million, then 200 million, 300 million, 400 million. When Lu Yiping finished refining all the Tao fruits of the 40-plus Saint Kings of the Firmament Holy Land, his Tao ancestor power broke through to 700 million parts. 700 million buckets. It meant that Lu Yiping had entered the high-level Tao ancestor realm. As for Fiend Patriarch Rahu, he only had 200 million units of Tao Father power. As for Longqing, he only had 100 million. Lu Yiping did not stay in the sea abyss any longer and left the sea abyss world. When he left, Lu Yiping brought the giant Leviathan with him. The giant Leviathan came out of the sea abyss world and breathed in the fresh air outside. Looking at the roaring chaotic airflow outside, it felt particularly familiar and cheered loudly. The roar shook the surrounding sand and dust into the air. On the sea abyss coast, some human and demon experts from the Chaos Realm were scared pale by the giant Leviathan's roar. I wonder how my little sister is now, Lu Yiping thought to himself, and then flew back to the human territory of the Chaos Realm on the giant Leviathan. It took him hundreds of thousands of years to reach the Tao Ancestor Realm. After hundreds of thousands of years, his sister should be at the peak of the Celestial Venerable Realm, right? She might even have entered the Saint Realm. With Lu Yiping's Tao Ancestor strength, the giant Leviathan was very fast and returned to the human territory in less than half a day. Lu Yiping came to the valley where he had let his sister hide. The valley was still there. When Lu Yiping arrived, his sister was practicing swordsmanship. His sister had always been obsessed with swordsmanship. After hundreds of thousands of years, Lu Jiqing's swordsmanship had improved countless times, and her cultivation had reached the Saint Realm. Lu Jiqing, who was practicing swordsmanship, heard footsteps and turned around. When she saw Lu Yiping, she was pleasantly surprised and rushed over. "Big brother?" Lu Yiping nodded and smiled. "Your swordsmanship is not bad." Lu Jiqing smiled sweetly. "Of course." Her pretty face was full of pride. Then Lu Jiqing brought Lu Yiping to her valley. Over hundreds of thousands of years, the valley had been well decorated by Lu Jiqing. The brother and sister had a good chat. The next day, Lu Yiping brought his sister out of the valley and came to a nearby city. Now that he had broken through to the Tao Ancestor Realm, his sister naturally did not need to hide in the valley anymore. "Brother, do you have news of father and mother?" Lu Jiqing asked. Chapter 473. Lu Yiping shook his head. "No." Then he said to his younger sister Lu Jiqing, "Little sister, don't worry, I will definitely find father and mother." Lu Jiqing nodded solemnly. The two strolled around the city for a while, then entered the Thousand Dragon Tavern for a drink before leaving the city. Lu Yiping brought Lu Jiqing to the center of the Chaos World. Seeing this, Lu Jiqing couldn't help asking, "Big brother, where are we going now?" "To Chaos City." Lu Yiping smiled. "To Chaos City?" Lu Jiqing was stunned. Her big brother had killed the King of Chaos Longcheng's fourth disciple, and now he was going to Chaos City? Lu Yiping looked in the direction of Chaos City and said slowly, "Longcheng has been sitting on the King of Chaos seat for long enough, it's time for a change." Lu Jiqing was stunned, then her eyes widened. "Big brother wants to? Big brother, you want to challenge the King of Chaos?" Lu Jiqing stuttered, her breathing quickened. Lu Yiping made a sound of affirmation. There was nothing to hide. Now he brought his sister Lu Jiqing to Primal Chaos City to challenge Longcheng. If he sat on the throne of the King of Chaos, he would be able to control the Chaos World. He wanted to borrow the Chaos World's power to find his parents' whereabouts. Although Lu Yiwen was only his adoptive father, in his heart, he was no different from his biological father. No matter what, he had to find Lu Yiwen and Lu Jiqing. Hearing that Lu Yiping really wanted to challenge the King of Chaos Longcheng, Lu Jiqing was shocked and wanted to persuade, "Big brother." Lu Yiping knew what his younger sister wanted to say, so he smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'm confident." He paused. "I've already broken through to the Tao Ancestor Realm. I've already broken through to the Tao Ancestor Realm." Lu Qingji stopped, looking at Lu Yiping in a daze, and Lu Yiping's words kept repeating in her mind. Her big brother had already broken through to the Tao Ancestor Realm? She looked at Lu Yiping in a daze, feeling like she was in a dream. Tao Ancestor. That was a Tao Ancestor. Suddenly Lu Jiqing's eyes reddened. She was so excited that she began to cry. Lu Yiping wiped the tears from his sister's face and said, "What are you crying for? Big brother will surpass the Tao Ancestor Realm in the future." Above Tao Ancestor was the realm of Heaven Opening. After Pangu, no one else had reached the Heaven Opening realm, but Lu Yiping was the reincarnation of the Fortune Jade Disc. With it, he was confident that one day he would be able to reach the Heaven Opening realm like Pangu. If he could reach the Heaven Opening realm, then he would be able to freely travel through space. At that time he would be able to go to the immortal world, the God world, and even the mortal world. Hearing Lu Yiping say that he would surpass the Tao Ancestor realm in the future, Lu Jiqing smiled through her tears. "I know. My big brother is awesome. Lu Yiping smiled and said, "Your big brother has always been awesome." The two siblings chatted and laughed as they walked towards Primal Chaos City. Not long after, Primal Chaos City appeared in their line of sight. Looking at the towering Primal Chaos City that was the size of dozens of continents, Lu Jiqing couldn't help but feel nervous and apprehensive. Lu Yiping's expression was calm. From this day onwards, Primal Chaos City would have a new master. At this time, Long Cheng was sitting cross-legged on a space altar in the deepest part of Primal Chaos City. In the main hall outside, his eldest disciple Chen Lingqiao, Lu Jiang, and Du Li were discussing Lu Yiping. "I've already sent people to investigate. The sacred yin-yang ancestor has not reached Dao integration," Chen Lingqiao said solemnly. Previously, when someone broke through to Dao ancestor realm, some people guessed that it was the sacred yin-yang ancestor. But now, Chen Lingqiao had confirmed that it was not the sacred yin-yang ancestor. Lu Jiang and Du Li's hearts sank at Long Cheng's words. If it was not the sacred yin-yang ancestor, then it was Lu Yiping? Even if it's not the sacred yin-yang ancestor, it doesn't mean it's Lu Yiping. Lu Jiang shook his head. He still found it hard to believe that Lu Yiping had broken through to Dao ancestor realm. Master said that even if Lu Yiping really broke through to Dao ancestor realm, there's nothing to worry about. Du Li added. Right at this time, a thunderous boom shook the heavens. In the next moment, the entire Primal Chaos City quaked and swayed. Chen Lingqiao, Lu Jiang, and Du Li's seats cracked from the impact, causing them to lose their balance. The three of them were astounded. Someone was attacking Primal Chaos City? Who is it? Chen Lingqiao roared angrily as he soared into the sky. Lu Jiang and Du Li followed closely behind him. Inside Primal Chaos City, the Primal Chaos City's army rushed out. Primal Chaos City was Long Cheng's residence. Thus there were naturally a lot of Primal Chaos City's army. There were a total of 100 Primal Chaos City's army, and each army had 100 million people. All of them were the Primal Chaos World's elite army. As these 100 Primal Chaos City's army rushed out, the sky above Primal Chaos City was filled with Primal Chaos City's army. Chen Lingqiao rushed out angrily, but when he saw the blue-robed figure, his face tightened. Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping's name seemed to have a magical power. Lu Jiang, Du Li, and the other Primal Chaos City's army leaders stopped in their tracks. "Tell Long Cheng to come out." Lu Yiping glanced at Chen Lingqiao and said calmly, "I want to challenge him for the King of Primal Chaos City's position." Challenge the King of Primal Chaos City's position. Lu Yiping's voice reverberated throughout Primal Chaos City, and even reached the continents around Primal Chaos City. At this moment, all the experts in Primal Chaos City and the continents around Primal Chaos City looked at the blue-robed figure in shock. Suddenly, a figure flashed out from the deepest part of Primal Chaos City's space. It was none other than the King of Primal Chaos City, Long Cheng. Long Cheng looked at Lu Yiping and laughed heartily. "Challenge me for the King of Primal Chaos City's position?" Then he stared at Lu Yiping. "It looks like you've broken through to Dao Ancestor Realm. You think you can win against me just because you've broken through to Dao Ancestor Realm? Lu Yiping, you're too impatient. You've broken through to Dao Ancestor Realm, and if you cultivate for another several 100 million years, then challenge me again. I won't be your opponent. But now." Saying this, Long Cheng raised his hands, and the Primal Chaos City sitting on the ground shook violently, slowly rising up from the ground. As the Primal Chaos City rose up, it stirred up shockwaves. Just the shockwaves alone were enough to send a group of Saint Kings flying. Even peak Saint Kings were no exception. Rays of Primal Chaos City spiraled around Primal Chaos City. A terrifying aura spread out from Primal Chaos City. Long Cheng stood in the air above Primal Chaos City, and the aura of a Dao ancestor swept out from his body. The Dao ancestor auspicious cloud above his head bloomed with layers of golden purple light. Suddenly Long Cheng waved his hands, and the Primal Chaos City flew towards Lu Yiping at an astonishing speed. When the Primal Chaos City flew towards Lu Yiping, the world darkened, and the sunlight was completely obscured. Looking at the Primal Chaos City flying towards him, Lu Yiping did not summon the Bell of Primal Chaos, mysterious yellow pagoda, nor did he summon the Tree of Creation. He merely pressed forward with one hand, and the Primal Chaos City that was as big as several continents stopped in front of Lu Yiping's palm. The terrifying aura of Primal Chaos City dissipated without any warning. Chen Lingqiao and the others were dumbfounded. At this time, Lu Yiping suddenly pushed the Primal Chaos City towards Long Cheng. From afar, it looked like a Primal Chaos City mountain range was being pushed by Lu Yiping towards Long Cheng. The Primal Chaos City stirred up shockwaves, and arrived in front of Long Cheng in the blink of an eye. Chapter 474. Long Cheng sensed the terrifying power contained in Primal Chaos City and couldn't help but panic. He discovered that no matter how he urged Primal Chaos City, he couldn't stop it. In his panic, Long Cheng retreated in a panic. At the same time, a gray shield appeared in his hand. This gray shield was called the Death God's Shield. Long Cheng obtained it from a place filled with death energy after splitting open the sky. It was also Long Cheng's strongest defensive treasure. Under the urging of Long Cheng's Tao ancestor power, the death energy in the Death God's Shield roared and surged. The death energy turned into a sea of death, rushing madly towards Primal Chaos City. With a loud rumble, the sea of death energy collided with Primal Chaos City. But in an instant, Lu Yiping pushed Primal Chaos City and plowed through the sea of death energy. The sea of death energy violently exploded for countless miles. Primal Chaos City caught up with the retreating Long Cheng in an instant. Long Cheng looked at the mountain-like Primal Chaos City in front of him and felt his vision darken. Then he was blasted away, and the Death God's Shield in his hand was blasted away by Primal Chaos City. After a long time, rumbling sounds came from the horizon. Qin Lingqiao, Lu Jiang, Du Li, and the rest, as well as the Holy King battle generals under Long Cheng's command, looked at Long Cheng who was blasted away. Long Cheng had fought with the demon ancestor, but even with 200 million Tao ancestor power, the demon ancestor could only gain the upper hand and couldn't injure Long Cheng. Now Long Cheng was blasted away with a single blow. It was as if Lu Yiping was the Tao ancestor, and Long Cheng was just a peak Holy King. How could this be? Qin Lingqiao muttered to himself in a daze. Didn't his master say that even if Lu Yiping broke through to the Tao ancestor realm, there was no need to worry? In fact, even Lu Jiqing was shocked. Long Cheng was the king of Primal Chaos, the master of Primal Chaos world, almost the strongest human in Primal Chaos world, but he was blasted away by her brother with a single blow. Her brother was actually so strong. A moment later, a figure tore through the sky and returned. It was Long Cheng who was blasted away. Qin Lingqiao and the others were shocked to see Long Cheng in such a sorry state. Long Cheng's body was covered in blood and his armor was broken. This was the first time in countless years that they had seen Long Cheng in such a sorry state. Long Cheng looked at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. You just broke through to the Tao ancestor realm. How can you be so strong? A celebratory cloud appeared above Lu Yiping's head. Looking at the auspicious cloud above Lu Yiping's head, Long Cheng, Qin Lingqiao, and the rest were dumbfounded. 700 million. Long Cheng's tongue stiffened. That's right, 700 million units. Lu Yiping calmly summoned the creation tree. In an instant, the grand mist aura from the creation tree blasted everyone away. Looking at the tree trunk that was as big as a continent, everyone was shocked. The tree of creation's billions of roots waved, forming a huge barrier that enveloped the surrounding space. Lu Yiping looked at Long Cheng. Hand over the King of Chaos flag. The flag of the King of Chaos was the symbol of the King of Chaos. It was like the jade seal of a mortal emperor. Long Cheng looked at the barrier around the creation tree with a gloomy expression. You can't escape from this barrier. Lu Yiping looked indifferently at Long Cheng. Long Cheng snarled, even if I can't escape, you can't kill me. A Tao ancestor had already reached the Tao integration realm. No matter how strong Lu Yiping was, as long as he didn't break through to the heaven opening realm, he wouldn't be able to kill a Tao ancestor. I can't kill you, but I can imprison you and suppress you in a world where there is no light, and let you live in the abyss of darkness for all eternity, Lu Yiping said coldly. Hand over the King of Chaos flag and I can let you go. Including your disciple. Qin Lingqiao, Lu Jiang and Du Li's hearts clenched. After struggling for a while, Long Cheng finally sighed and handed over the King of Chaos flag. The moment he handed over the King of Chaos flag, Long Cheng's several 100,000 feet tall body seemed to shrink significantly. Long Cheng tore through the air and left. Under the sunlight, his back seemed a little bleak. Qin Lingqiao, Lu Jiang, Du Li, and the others nervously followed behind Long Cheng. Lu Yiping looked at the Saint Ruler battle generals. If any of you wish to leave, you may do so on your own. The Saint King battle generals couldn't help but be tempted. These people had followed Long Cheng for many years and many of them were still loyal to him. However, whoever stays behind to serve me will receive 1 strand of Grand Mist Aura per day. Lu Yiping said. What? 1 strand of Grand Mist Aura per day. The moment Lu Yiping's words left his mouth, the several hundred Saint King battle generals were shaken. "Lord King of Chaos, is this true?" One of the Saint Kings at the pinnacle mustered up his courage and asked respectfully. "Of course." Lu Yiping said, "Top Saint Kings 2 a day. Peak Saint Kings for a day. Other Saint Kings 1 a day. Peak Saint Kings for a day." In 1 year there were more than 1,400 of them. That would be more than 14,000 in 10 years. That would be 140,000 in 100 years. Everyone's breathing quickened. Almost as soon as Lu Yiping finished speaking, there were Saint King battle generals who knelt down to pledge their loyalty to Lu Yiping. Soon more and more Saint Kings knelt down to serve Huang Xiaolong. Before long there were only a dozen or so people left. In the end, Lu Yiping did not make things difficult for these people and allowed them to leave. Lu Yiping looked at the Chaos army around him and activated the King of Chaos flag in his hand. A towering giant figure appeared. This was the divine sense Pangu had left in the King of Chaos flag. It was also because of this that this flag was called the King of Chaos flag. The Chaos army of 10 billion knelt down. Not long after, the news of Lu Yiping challenging the King of Chaos position and Long Cheng's defeat spread out. As the news spread, the Chaos world was in an uproar. When Lu families Lu Kongji, Lu Yongji, Lu Bing and the others heard the news, they were dazed for a long time. No matter how Lu Gang called out to them, they did not respond. Lu Yongji suddenly cupped his fists and bowed to Ancestor Snow, sobbing, "I was wrong, Big Brother Snow, we have offended Lord King of Chaos, please spare our dog lives." Lu Bing, Lu Gang and the others also bowed and begged. Lu Kongji's expression was gloomy. Ancestor Snow sighed, not knowing what to say. After Long Cheng left, Lu Yiping erased Long Cheng's soul mark from the Chaos City and reforged the Chaos City. He and his sister Lu Jiqing settled down in the Chaos City. Lu Yiping gathered all the Saint King battle generals in front of the Chaos City's Great Hall and gave them instructions. Then he asked them to inquire about his parents. After everyone left, Lu Yiping stayed in the Chaos City to cultivate the immortal Skywood technique. In these years he had spent most of his time at the Tao integration realm and did not cultivate the immortal Skywood technique. Thus he had yet to reach the 49th stage. Time flowed by, several hundred years went by. With the help of the Founding Tree's Grand Mist Aura, Lu Yiping finally reached the 49th stage of the immortal Skywood technique. Of course, Lu Yiping was able to reach the 49th stage of the immortal Skywood technique in such a short time because he had broken through to the Tao Ancestor realm. After breaking through to the Tao Ancestor realm, Huang Xiaolong's comprehension of various heaven-splitting cultivation techniques was different. Not long after Lu Yiping reached the 49th stage of the immortal Skywood technique, one of his subordinates reported that there was news of his parents. Chapter 475. Oh, there's news of my parents? Lu Yiping was overjoyed when he heard the news. The general hurriedly bowed and replied, "Yes, Lord King of Chaos. We found out that Lord Lu Yiwen and the others went to the depths of the universe with the president of Ling Tian Chamber of Commerce, Li Ling Tian." Ling Tian Chamber of Commerce. Lu Yiping was stunned. Ling Tian Chamber of Commerce was the second largest chamber of commerce in the Chaos realm. Its financial strength was only below the Eternal Chamber of Commerce. Yes, and we found out that the president of Ling Tian Chamber of Commerce, Li Ling Tian, just returned from the desolate universe. The general continued, "Lord King of Chaos, why don't we ask Li Ling Tian to come and meet you?" "No need, I'll go to Ling Tian Chamber of Commerce personally," Lu Yiping said and then left. Ling Tian Chamber of Commerce's headquarters was in the center of the Chaos realm, so it wasn't far from Chaos City. Soon, Lu Yiping arrived at Ling Tian Chamber of Commerce's headquarters and saw Li Ling Tian. Li Ling Tian, who had just returned, had already heard about Lu Yiping from the members of the Chamber of Commerce. When they saw Lu Yiping arrive at Ling Tian Chamber of Commerce's headquarters, they were so shocked that they lined up to welcome him. Lu Yiping didn't beat around the bush and asked about his parents. Li Ling Tian didn't dare to hide anything and told Lu Yiping about how he and Lu Yiwen went to the depths of the universe. Hearing this, Lu Yiping frowned. It turned out that not long after Li Ling Tian and the others entered the depths of the universe, they encountered a spatial rift and were swept away by the spatial turbulence. Then they were separated. Li Ling Tian drifted in the spatial turbulence for many years. A few days ago he was lucky enough to encounter a spatial exit and escaped. Lu Yiping asked for more details and Li Ling Tian answered all of them. He didn't dare to lie. After confirming that Li Ling Tian wasn't lying, Lu Yiping asked about the specific location of the spatial rift and left. After returning to Chaos City, Lu Yiping, his sister, and his subordinates handed over some matters and rushed to the depths of the universe. After passing through the demon territory, Lu Yiping passed through numerous mountain ranges, seas, barren hills, plains, and finally arrived at the place where Li Lingtian and the others had met with their mishap. This place was very close to the abyssal sea. Lu Yiping glanced around and arrived in the air above a mountain range in a flash. His gaze fell on a certain peak in the mountain range. That was the place where Li Lingtian and the others had been sucked into the spatial rift. Lu Yiping sensed that the space in this mountain range was indeed unstable. However, there were no spatial tears at the moment. Lu Yiping tore at the void with one hand and tore the space in front of him apart. Then his figure flashed into the spatial tear. Within the spatial fissure, chaotic turbulence was everywhere. Standing in it was like a mortal standing in a roaring sea. They were already in the depths of the universe. Although they hadn't reached the end of the universe, the chaotic flow of space was extremely violent. Even if a Saint King entered these spatial cracks, they would be swept away by the chaotic flow. They wouldn't be able to control their bodies. Following Li Lingtian's instructions, Lu Yiping flew in the direction where his parents had been swept away. A Saint King couldn't control his body, but a Dao ancestor could. Lu Yiping floated forward. At the same time, he spread out his spirit and carefully sensed all the changes and auras around him. After being trapped for so many years, Li Lingtian was lucky enough to encounter the exit of the spatial crack and escape. His parents might still be trapped here. Of course, as long as his parents were still trapped here, he would be able to find them. Lu Yiping floated along with the chaotic turbulence. Just like that, he drifted for about a month. However, he still didn't sense the auras of his parents. In this spatial crack, there were no other life forms apart from the chaotic turbulence. During this month of drifting, Lu Yiping didn't see anything other than the chaotic turbulence. Lu Yiping continued to search. Another month passed and he still didn't find anything. Lu Yiping continued to search. A year passed. 2 years passed. He still didn't find anything. Lu Yiping looked at the gray chaotic turbulence in front of him and exhaled deeply. No matter what, even if he had to spend 1,000 years, 10,000 years, or even 100,000 years, he would still find his parents. 10 years passed. 20 years passed. 30 years. 100 years. Finally, more than 400 years passed. Lu Yiping was still searching in this chaotic turbulence. During these 40 years, Lu Yiping would occasionally stop and summon the Sun Fusang tree. He would use the Sun True Fire to roast meat and drink some wine. After eating and drinking, he would continue his search. On this day, just as Lu Yiping was continuing his search, he suddenly sensed a weak energy fluctuation coming from somewhere in front of him. This is... Lu Yiping hurriedly flew over. Soon he arrived at the location of the weak energy fluctuation. This was a spatial exit. However, Lu Yiping was sure that it wasn't the spatial exit that he had entered from earlier. Lu Yiping thought for a moment and then walked out of this spatial exit. When Lu Yiping walked out of this spatial exit, it was no longer gray chaotic turbulence, but dazzling sunlight. Lu Yiping looked up and saw a huge sun hanging high in the sky. This sun was purple gold in color. It was completely different from the suns he had seen in the past. The sunlight it emitted was very dazzling. Under the sun, there were mountains, plains, and forests that stretched as far as the eye could see. Even further away there were cities. Everything here was filled with an indescribable spiritual energy. And the spatial laws were even stronger and sturdier than those of the Chaos Realm. Lu Yiping spread out the power of his spirit and continued to explore further. With Lu Yiping's current 700 million Dao ancestor power, the range of his spirit could be said to be extremely astonishing. However, even though Lu Yiping had pushed his spirit to the limit, he still couldn't see the end of this world. Lu Yiping felt that this world was even larger than the Chaos Realm. Moreover, under the coverage of Lu Yiping's spirit, the living beings of this world were overall much stronger than those of the Chaos Realm. In the Chaos Realm, Saint Rudiment Realm powerhouses were still very rare. Ordinary cities didn't have any Saint Rudiment Realm powerhouses. But just now, under the coverage of his spirit, there was one Saint Rudiment Realm powerhouse in 100 cities. Moreover, there were more heavenly venerable realm powerhouses than the Chaos Realm. Lu Yiping's heart shook. Could this be the primordial world? Regarding the primordial world, there had always been a legend in the Chaos Realm. Legend had it that in the deepest part of the universe, there was a world even larger than the Chaos Realm called the primordial world. This primordial world was the first world in the universe. It existed even before the Chaos Realm. Father and mother, under the impact of the chaotic turbulence, could they have also entered this primordial world? Lu Yiping thought to himself. This was not impossible. Chapter 476. As Lu Yiping pondered, he flew towards the city in front of him. The primordial world was located in the depths of the universe and was extremely hidden. Even Dao ancestors couldn't enter without luck. Since he was here, Lu Yiping naturally had to stay for some time. Lu Yiping arrived at the city in front of him. The city wasn't big, but it was bustling with activity. Lu Yiping followed the crowd and walked along the streets. When he passed by a large restaurant, Lu Yiping entered and sat down at a good seat. The best way to gather information and understand this world was in a restaurant. Of course, this was also the most comfortable way. Lu Yiping called the waiter over and ordered a jar of good wine and a table of good dishes. He drank and listened to the discussions around the tables. I heard that the demon race is going to war with the sorcerer race? Not only are they going to war, Goddess Nuwa and Sorcerer Ancestor have already made their moves. The discussions around the table attracted Lu Yiping's attention. As he listened, Lu Yiping understood that in the primordial world, the demon race and sorcerer race were the strongest, followed by the human race and Buddhism. As for Mother Nuwa and the Sorcerer Ancestor, both of them were supreme Dao fathers. Peak Dao Ancestor. Lu Yiping muttered to himself. Peak Dao Ancestor was equivalent to 1.9 billion units of Dao Ancestor strength. In the Chaos world, the strongest demon ancestor Luoho only had 200 million units of Dao Ancestor strength. In the Chaos world, the number of Dao Ancestor experts could be counted with one hand. In the primordial world there were many Dao Ancestor experts. Although there weren't as many as the Chaos World Sage Kings, there was a Dao Ancestor expert in the top forces of the primordial world. After sitting in the restaurant for a while, Lu Yiping left the restaurant. After inquiring about the primordial world's merchant associations, Lu Yiping headed towards the largest merchant association in the primordial world. The largest merchant association in the primordial world was called the Million Treasure Merchant Association. The headquarters of the Million Treasure Merchant Association wasn't in the center of the primordial world, but in another large region called the Treasure Domain. The Treasure region, as its name suggested, was the richest region in the Grand Mist world. At the same time, it was also the region with the most treasures and merchant guilds in the Grand Mist world. Almost all of the top chambers of commerce in the Grand Mist world were gathered in the Treasure realm. There was a saying in the primordial world that the top tycoons of other regions would only know what it meant to be rich after going to the Treasure region. Lu Yiping wanted to go to the 10,000 Treasures Chamber of Commerce and ask them about his parents. If his parents were in the Grand Mist world, it wouldn't be difficult for him to inquire about them with the myriad treasure commerce's wealth and resources. Nightfall. The night was quiet. At the foot of a barren mountain, beside a bonfire, Lu Yiping was drinking the eternal wine. After becoming the king of Primal Chaos, he had asked the Primal Chaos realm to gather materials to improve his Myriad Era's wine. The improved Myriad Era's wine was naturally more mellow and fragrant. The night breeze blew gently, and the aroma of wine wafted through the air. Could be smelled for miles. While Lu Yiping was drinking the eternal wine, a disheveled old man wearing a white Taoist robe whistled through the air in the distance. There was a large fiery red wine gourd hanging from the old man's waist. The old man was obviously an alcoholic, and he was attracted by the aroma of the wine. The old man's eyes lit up when he saw Lu Yiping drinking alone. He walked over and rubbed his hands together. "This brother, may I know which restaurant this wine is from? Could it be the Four Directions restaurant's new product?" The Four Directions restaurant was the #1 restaurant in the Grand Mist world. Lu Yiping smiled seeing the old man's greedy look. "No, I brewed it myself." This old man was not weak. He was a peak Saint King, half a step away from breaking through to the Dao Ancestor realm. Looking at the old man, Lu Yiping couldn't help thinking of the wisdom beggar Zhou Qing he had met in the lower realms Hingyuan world. Zhou Qing was also a good drinker and he was also slovenly. Therefore this old man was quite pleasing to the eye. "That brother, are you selling this wine? How much is it?" The old man smiled embarrassedly as he stared at Lu Yiping's wine. He swallowed hard, almost drooling. Lu Yiping smiled, took out a jug and threw it to the old man. The old man was stunned. When he was about to take out some Chaos Spirit Stones to give to Lu Yiping waved his hand, saying no need. The old man hesitated for a moment, but did not stand on ceremony with Lu Yiping. He opened the jug and drank. The old man's temperament was similar to the wisdom beggar Zhou Qing's. The two of them chatted as they drank and soon they became familiar with each other. Lu Yiping learned that the old man's surname was Zhou Bai. Zhou Bai? This name is quite unique. Lu Yiping smiled. The old man Zhou Bai laughed. "It's not easy to live." His words were spoken with anger. Even a peak Saint King was walking on thin ice in the Grand Mist world. Then Zhou Bai asked, "Brother Lu, where are you going?" "Treasure Domain's Million Treasures City." Lu Yiping did not hide anything. Knowing that Lu Yiping was going to the Treasure Domain's Million Treasures City, Zhou Bai grinned, "I'm also going to the Treasure Domain's Million Treasures City. Is Brother Lu also going to the Million Treasures Chamber of Commerce to buy that thing?" "That thing?" Lu Yiping was puzzled. Zhou Bai saw Lu Yiping's puzzled expression and said, "Brother Lu, have you not heard that the Million Treasures Chamber of Commerce found a heaven-opening great flaming cloud stone in the Fire Cloud Cave?" Lu Yiping shook his head. Zhou Bai explained. It turned out that the Million Treasures Chamber of Commerce had found a flaming cloud stone in the depths of the Fire Cloud Cave. This flaming cloud stone was not an ordinary heaven-opening great stone. It was said that there was a powerful life form inside, and once this life form was born, it would definitely be an extraordinary existence. Since this flaming cloud stone is so extraordinary, why did the Million Treasures Chamber of Commerce sell it? Lu Yiping asked. Zhou Bai shook his head. "I don't know." The night passed. Lu Yiping and Zhou Bai continued on their way. After entering the treasure realm, the two of them rushed to the Million Treasures City without stopping. The treasure realm was worthy of being called the richest realm in the Grand Mist world. Lu Yiping saw a bustling scene along the way. The buildings in the city were resplendent, built from materials rarely seen in the Chaos world. Even the flying ships passing by were made from rare materials. Zhou Bai looked at the bustling treasure realm and said, "In recent years the Grand Mist world has not been peaceful. The demonic beast race and the sorcerer race have been fighting frequently. Other realms have been embroiled in the flames of war, but the treasure realm has not been affected." The treasure realm had gathered almost all of the top chambers of commerce in the Grand Mist world. Even the demonic beast race and the sorcerer race did not dare to fight in the treasure realm. Then Zhou Bai sighed with emotion. The houses in the treasure realm are getting more expensive, especially the residences in the Million Treasures City. Even the better ones cost 10 billion. 10 billion was naturally referring to Chaos Spirit Stones. 10 billion so much? Lu Yiping was astounded. Zhou Bai nodded. 10 billion is a small number, some even go up to 100 billion. The two of them chatted as they reached the Million Treasures City. However, there was an entrance fee to enter the Million Treasures City, and it was not cheap. 1 Chaos Spirit Stone per person. After entering the Million Treasures City, Zhou Bai led Lu Yiping to the Million Treasures Chamber of Commerce. Because of the flaming cloud stone, many experts had come to the Million Treasures Chamber of Commerce, and the hall was packed to the brim. Zhou Bai's gaze swept over the crowd in the hall. When he saw several women in the hall, he exclaimed in shock, "The demonic beast race's holy maiden." The demonic beast race's holy maiden was Goddess Nuwa's only personal disciple. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.